I'm starting that stream. Let's go.
Okay, man. I'm actually, if I go onto YouTube,
You should be able to go
and
onto YouTube and we can watch it back and all that jazz if you want to.
oh,
Your audio's being funky now, bud. Can you talk for me again?
how's this now?
That's better. There you go.
Yeah, no, it's because I had the video on in the background, and I don't know why I did that. I'm just gonna do it on my mobile and share it. I need to make sure I look up at the camera. Look up at the fucking camera right below.
1, 2, 3,
there we
4,
go.
5, 6, 7. Missing 2 more. I need 2 more people in that room. But yeah, going to be commentating for our first actual Pokemon Champions tournament.
Only played my daily game, and the team it was just 6 months I threw together. This is gonna be fun to see what Swede has. Furry is not in the game to my knowledge, so I'm curious to see what is in his bag of
1,
tricks.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. We have everybody. Now I just gotta wait till I can start the tournament.
Yep. This is gonna be fun. This is the first time we've done this as a tournament, actually having us cast them along with running them.
Yeah, this is gonna be a lot. I'm hopeful that I can multitask this.
I don't think we should have a lot of issues. It's also why we kept this as a smaller tournament. For those of you who are seeing that we're doing a tournament and didn't see it on our socials, we kept this in-house as a first time. Like, we're trying to get back on the horse with doing the whole Rumble thing, doing the whole Limitless tours. I'm actually trying to think. I don't remember the last time we did a Limitless tour. Was it during... Did we do a Regulation H tour, or was the last time we did one Regulation F Part 1?
I believe it was F Part 1.
Yeah, so that was a little before Christmas 2023. So yeah, oh my god, it has been even longer than I thought. So this is gonna be fun. Also, first time. I don't know about you, Carl. No, this is like the second time I've ever casted. I did some cast work for Dad, but this is going to be fun. We're actually going to be able to use the spectator mode. We tested that out last Tuesday, and it was very fun. So now we get to do this whole thing, and hopefully, for these larger tournaments, when we do start pushing them, we'll be able to either have us cast, have other members of the community cast. If we're working the event, have other judges have those opportunities to work the events for us while we talk. So yeah, it's going to be really fun.
Yes, this should be a good time. The real question will be, can I multitask and not break the game?
I think we should be good.
I believe everything's going. I'm looking at pairings. It looks like everything's working there. I think where we want to start here. Just pick 1 through 4.
Absolutely 3.
3? You want to do 3? Okay.
Yeah, I think those are 2 very good players. Both Chris Larkin and Rockwell, 2 members of... Oh, Chris, of course, a member of our community, and Chris and Rockwell are also a part of my building group, the Cats. Rockwell's one of my locals and is one of the most cracked out team builders. Going into the team so far right now, it looks actually...
I'm working on that.
Question.
I'm working on that right now. Give me 1
Yeah,
second.
how do I see on your end?
Oop. Oh. Boop. Now let me... Apparently my window capture is now messed up.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I'll talk through these teams. Rockwell is bringing a double mega team featuring both Mega Kangaskhan using No Protect, Fake Out, Double Edge, Sucker Punch, Drain Punch, along with the Calm Mind, Dazzling Gleam, Moonblast, and Mega Floette. These two megas are supported by King Gambit, playing Black Glasses with Protect, Kowtow, Cleave, Iron Head, and Sucker Punch. Lumberry Garchomp running Sword Stance, Rock Slide, Earthquake with Rough Skin. Sneasler running Focus Sash, Unburden, Protect, Fake Out, Dire Claw, and Close Combat. And finally, Sharpbeak, Talonflame using Tailwind, Dual Wing Beat, Flare Blitz, and Protect. This is a very strong offensive team. You have the Talonchomp offense option. Mega Floette is very, very, very threatening, especially with the speed control. Sneasler's one of the best Pokemon in the game in regards to... Sneasler's one of the best Pokemon in the game in regards to just putting damage out with Close Combat, statuses with Dire Claw, and Fake Out. And Mega Kanga, I am a little curious to see where he goes with that. On the other side, we do have Chris, who is running a more balanced Frostlass team, using Mega Frostlass with Aurora Veil, and supporting it with a Fire, Water, Grass trio of Lumberry, Incineroar, Mystic Water Palafin running Close Combat over Flip Turn, and Protect, Rage Powder, Trick Room, Matcha Gotcha, Sinistra holding a Citrus Berry. Rounding the team out is a Focus Sash Aerodactyl, Unnerve, Protect, Tailwind, Rock Slide, and Dual Wing Beat, along with Sneasler using the White Herb Unburden with Dire Claw, Protect, Close Combat, and Fake Out. Now, I can't see the battle, Carl.
Yeah, it's because we haven't got that far yet.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to tell him to start right now.
Okay. What screen should I be looking at?
You should just look at your camera, and then I can, if you would like to check out Discord, I should be able to get that to you on this side. Well, let me pull...
in the server, the DMs.
Yeah, in our little thing. I should be able to share my screen.
Yeah.
There you go for you. That's for you.
Perfect. That's muted me. Okay, so got the everything in.
We get to... Looks like we are already in game, which is fine.
Yep, so Chris is led with Frostlass and Aerodactyl with the Frostlass already Mega Evolved. It looks like Frostlass ripped a Blizzard and froze Floette on Rockwell's side. Rockwell leading with the Mega Floette, who he did choose to Mega Evolve along with his Kangaskhan. So we're about to turn in, and it looks like Chris is already in a really commanding position.
Yes. This Frostlass Aerodactyl lead seems to be putting a lot of pressure on the Kangaskhan and Floette. Choosing not to Mega Evolve the Kangaskhan for the extra damage, and instead making sure that we have Scrappy for that Floette in case it stayed in, is a smart move by Rockwell.
Yeah. So the switch into Sneasler, who did get faked out on the Frostlass, looks like Aerodactyl went and also missed on the Floette.
And we got a Dual Wing Beat taking out Kangaskhan.
And this should be a Dire Claw into the Floette spot to take out that Pokemon there.
Yes. Should be just pretty clean turn this time around. It looks like Rockwell has their Sneasler still, and that's just gonna be... yeah, I'm about to say, that was a pretty rough turn for Rockwell. Chris had a pretty commanding lead there, already up 2 Mons. The Sneasler might have already been chipped down.
Yeah, so now we'll be just going back in and waiting in our ability to spectate. Yeah, getting the freeze on the Floette, that really just changes the pace of the game.
Yeah.
Like, especially when you lose your Mega like that. People have talked about this format being a mix of regulations H and the single restricted regulations, the power level is lower, and even with the megas, like, I mean, Mega Float might as well be a restricted.
Yeah.
But in terms of the overall power level, like with the megas, it's not like you're throwing a Miraidon out there, and you absolutely can win without your mega.
For sure.
But with that being said, when you're down 2-0, you've done pretty much no damage to your opponent. It's a little rougher. And
Okay.
here we are going.
Let's
to game
see. Let's see what adjustments we see here. It'll be interesting. This Floette Kangaskhan lead just feels really weak into anything Aerodactyl plus whatever.
And so we see here Aerodactyl plus Sneasler. This is choice, not choice. Focus Sash on the Aerodactyl and a White Herb on the Sneasler.
I'm expecting just like a double protect turn, right? Like what your Kangaskhan fakes out whichever one, and then Floette just hits you. But I think you'd rather just double protect this turn if you're Chris, and then just Tailwind and Dire Claw or do whatever you need to do next turn.
You absolutely that is the play, but his fake out on the Sneasler is also active. You can fake out into the Kangaskhan spot. It's not running protect, so that is a free fake out. And then you can see like putting some chip damage onto the Floette to make sure that Dire Claw is in a better place. But it looks like Chris did not choose for that.
This dual wing beating into the Floette here, trying to get some bigger damage off.
And also, no Mega Evolution by Rockwell this turn.
Interesting.
Double Mega.
That's a clean KO on the Sneasler without being the Mega. That is concerning now, because now it's you just bring out what Frostlass if you have it in the back.
The one thing Chris does have on his team still is speed. No, he's going with his Palafin mode. Now, Palafin with close combat can easily answer the Kangaskhan.
But
I think one of the other plays that he's made is that the Kangaskhan really isn't threatening the Aerodactyl, and even after a Mega Evolution, Floette really doesn't threaten anything. Which, right there, as you can see,
like
even
with
Mega
after the
Evolves,
after the dual wing beat, I feel like you just let Floette go down.
So with Double Edge into the baby Palafin, taking a decent bit of recoil damage. Well, Chris just rips the close combat right into Kangaskhan, leaving it at 13 HP.
Goodness. Well, here's my next worry. Rockwell now, both of his megas are either gone or really, really low. So are we just relying on, I guess, Talonflame and maybe like a King Gambit in the back to deal with a potential Mega Frostlass?
I think so, but even then, like, for you to even get anything with your Kangaskhan, you'll either need to commit the Sucker Punch into the Aerodactyl spot, or click Tailwind with the Talonflame. Even after Mega Evolving, Aerodactyl's going to be faster than all of Rockwell's Pokemon. I think this is a free switch, or free Earth switch into the Frostlass here for Chris's setup, everything.
There's the King Gambit.
Yes.
Let's see, yeah. So there was a line here where it was testing Talonflame's priority into the Palafin versus Jet Punch, and so Chris made the correct call here, just protecting and rock sliding the Talon to take out the Talonflame.
Yeah. The issue here is the Sucker Punch on the King Gambit can still be a bit of a worry. You're going to really want to click close combat into that slot, but with the lack of double target moves,
yeah, we're -1 defense from the close combat. Sucker Punch likely KOs here for sure. Aerodactyl's not doing anything into this King Gambit. This is a situation where it's like you could see like Mega Kangaskhan double fake out into the Aerodactyl slot and you just spam Sucker Punch on the Palafin until it's either gone or it switches out.
I think this is going to be the switch out turn, and it probably is Frostlass in the back.
Yeah. Frostlass being the only possible Mega for Chris. Rock Slide to take out the opposing Kangaskhan, and then this could be a Kowtow Cleave into that Frostlass slot. Just expecting the Frostlass to come out. Oh no.
There's a flinch, and that really hurts it.
That probably is the game, yeah.
Yes, and that is a round 1 win by Chris.
That is a very fast 2-0 for Chris.
Yes.
Very fast 2-0. Alright. Okay. Well, with that being so fast, I might be able to hop us into another game, depending on how things go.
Let's go and look at Kami versus Datum Santakos. So it looks like Kami is using a team similar to what he used into me on the dojo this past week. He's also running a Mega Frostlass team, however with Icy Wind over the Aurora Veil. Focus Sash, Dragon Shear Salazzle next to Scope Lens Garchomp. Very threatening, not fun to go up against. Kangaskhan, Corviknight, and Primarina. Adam, on the other hand, is running a Hard Sand team using Mega Tyranitar, Excadrill, Incineroar, Corviknight, Sinistra, and Milotic.
I'm about to say, it's a Corviknight battle.
Yes.
Love it. I love seeing Corviknight. I was worried Corviknight was not going to see as much play with Mecha Skarmory coming into the game, but it looks like there's room for both.
Yeah, Corviknight is in a good spot. It is one of these Pokemon where... Corviknight's one of these Pokemon where, like, the lack of items doesn't hurt it, because it is a Pokemon that honestly would like the leftovers, and you don't feel bad taking leftovers away from another Pokemon. Right here,
I feel like K-Kid's in a very good spot right now. A Heat Wave, a double connect Heat Wave into Stomping Tantrum on the T-Tar probably just locks this game up.
Yes.
Because
as long as he doesn't get too greedy and puts Dragon Fear.
I think you just click the Heat Wave and then Stomping Tantrum. Fake Out is also a fine option. I really think clicking Heat Wave there was probably correct. Yeah, and that's why.
Yeah.
There might be with Tailwind up.
There's Tailwind up. No, it has to be, because there's no way the Tyranitar's outspeeding the Garchomp without Tailwind. And Dragon Claw comes out. So yeah, so we must have missed a Tailwind turn. At this point, it is going to be very difficult for him to win. It looks like Adam has this.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you're jumping into battles. You never see what happened. But yeah, having the Tailwind support, that going and getting... Maybe the Fake Out could have gone into the Tyranitar, but... With
the Fake Out going into Tyranitar, I feel like Adam just doubles that Salazzle slot. But then the Corviknight has to take Brave Bird damage. And that would have been the kicker there, I think. Protect, let the Tailwind run out.
And then you're playing... And the Tailwind just ran out. But it's only at 50 HP.
It's a tall ask. I think Brave Bird probably cleans it up here. Because you can just... You probably want to try and take out the You expect like a Tailwind plus Protect turn, so you probably are going to be like clicking Rock Slide, yeah, and hoping that you just get flinches. This is your out. This is the line. Just flinch. Nope, that's probably game. There it is. That was just the end of game 1, so we get to watch game 2 here. Did you get to talk about the rest of Adam's team before we...
Yeah, we can talk a little more about Adam's team. He's running Excadrill with Focus Sash, Sand Rush, the classic Citrus Berry, Incineroar, The Corviknight is a no protect. He's running Iron Defense Body Press along with Tailwind and Brave Bird. Mental Herb on Sinistra with Strength Sap, which is a move that we really don't see too often on it. The Mental Herb's also great as a way to ignore the taunt that is starting to pop up in the format. Matcha Gotcha, Trick Room, and Rage Powder round that out. And the final mon is a Wakan Berry competitive Milotic using Protect, Recover, Ice Beam, and Scald. So a lot of common Pokemon. It's a really strong and really bulky Fire, Water, Grass. But you're seeing a few little like different tweaks, especially in the Sinistra and the Milotic. Corviknight's also one of the bulkiest Pokemon in the game, and being double steel in this format is very important with the Floette in the room.
Yes. So, looking at Team Select here, I would expect K-Kid Kamikaze to lead with the Kangaskhan again. It lines up really well into a lot of what Adam's got going on. There's no fighting coverage really to speak of, so like it feels very, very safe as like a mega option. But also Frostlass being able to just change the weather away from this T-Tar also has its own merit. We'll have to see which line they want to progress with going into this game too. Looks like we're gonna match just speed for speed. Oh, yep. We got shiny. We got that Excadrill, which this is not Mega Excadrill. This is a Focus Sash Excadrill.
Yes.
And so it'll probably be a situation of setting up Tailwind and protecting this Garchomp versus protecting the Sash on this Excadrill and not letting it just go down for free.
Now, one of the things to note is that Kami's Corviknight is not running Body Press like Adams is. This one is running Roost, Tailwind, Brave Bird, and Iron Head. So there really isn't a way for... Like, right now with this lead, the Garchomp is threatening into Adam's Excadrill, but as Adam brings out his Corviknight, there really isn't much on the team that Kami's running.
We just went for it. Okay.
Yeah. Outside of the Salazzle to go and do anything. So we get Tailwind up on Kami's side.
This feels like a swap of this Excadrill into whatever other mon we have in the back that's not T-Tar. Because we don't have the Tailwind priority now because Kamikaze got to set theirs up first. And with Corviknight being a slower Tailwind setter, you do not want this Excadrill just to eat double attack from Corviknight and Garchomp. Or I guess we do. I guess we do not mind this Excadrill going down for free.
It wouldn't be completely for free. It does get the Rock Slide off. And maybe there's a flinch. Who can say?
There's the Brave.
Nope, there isn't.
No flinches. Brave Bird takes out the Excadrill, and then I'm assuming Adam's Corviknight's also going for Tailwind, just to match speeds. Having that staggered Tailwind, though, it seems to be... Nope, we're just going bigger. Defense. We are going bigger than them.
Yeah. Now, again, into this team, like, as of right now, it seems like Kami's best answer into the Corviknight is the Salazzle. Especially after an Iron Defense just like that. Now, he does have the option to do Dragon Cheer stuff to pretty much auto-crit with his Garchomp. However, Corviknight goes and resists everything Garchomp is doing.
Yes, Corviknight kind of just sits there and says, haha, you can't hit me. So, yeah, Adam's best play here is this Corviknight, probably. Just set it up and then start body pressing people. Yeah. Doubled into the T-Tar.
And
another free Iron Defense. Yep, that's this Salazzle in the back for Kamikaze Kid is probably going to be very important. If that's what's in the back. Could also be the Primarina. The Primarina could also be in the back and could probably clean up this Corviknight. Both being able to attack it for neutral or special effective on the special side. There's the Mega for Adam, going Mega Tyranitar. So this means if Kamikaze had Frostless in the back, it could take over the weather control pretty easily. And we have the double up. Almost enough to take out the Tyranitar. Did a very significant amount of damage here. And we got the flinch.
And a flinch.
Oh, no.
Body
Oh,
crossover
no.
just almost 75% into the Corviknight on Kami's side. As it's Tailwind
As the Tailwind
out.
peters out. Alright. So now what do we do? If you're Kamikaze, you probably want to set up this Tailwind again.
Yes.
So, do you protect your Corviknight? There's the protect. Do you just, like, go for Rock Slide plus Tailwind? Nope. Was reading a potential switch for Tyranitar. And just lets the Corviknight go down.
Yes, we find out whether it's whether it was a speed tie or Adams was faster. Kami loses his Corviknight, and now Adam is in a place where he can set up his own Trick Room.
Or
Tailwind. Yep.
Yeah, there's the Salazzle. This is where it gets interesting. Do we just go for the Heat Wave?
I think you're able to make a play like protecting into the Corviknight slot and then getting rid of whatever is next to it. Which is a Sinistcha.
Protects. Just went for a fake out. That's fine. That's fine. Did you just play it safe? Playing it safe around that Tyranitar. That's fine. The fake out overall, it just prevents damage from the Corviknight this turn. I have to wonder what's the other Pokemon in the back for Kamikaze here, because it's likely it's going to be either Frostlass or this Primarina. And I'd rather just lean the Primarina.
Probably at this point. I will say, though, since
Here's the Heat Wave.
No...
Oh, that's so close.
And the Dragon Claw into Sinistcha does take it out.
Yep.
So, that does guarantee that...
Oh, no.
Right into the Focus Sash. No, not even down to the Focus Sash.
Okay, so this means Corviknight's on borrowed time here. Not enough to put it on Sash, and that's going to be the end for that game, going to Game 3 between Kamikaze and Adam. Very exciting stuff.
Now, one of the things where the Frostlass as the last option could be a little safer is because Adam doesn't have the Steel type damage. He would have to be going with Brave Bird, which isn't boosted by the Iron Defense, and with the Snow boost, as long as Kami was able to get the weather control, that +1 defense that Snow gives to Ice types also could have really helped. Looking through others, looks like Esther 2-0 Pioneer in their matchup, and Spinarak and Swede are currently in Game 2. So we are fastly approaching the end of Round 1 already.
Yep. Okay, so if you're Adam, do we look to match speed control this time with our own Corviknight and do like a Corviknight T-Tar lead, or do we look to just put more pressure on their Corviknight and not let our Excadrill just get one shot effectively by the Garchomp?
I definitely think that will be a case. Another thing I honestly think with Adam is, instead of bringing the Sinistcha, and maybe he's bringing the Sinistcha because he's worried about the Prim, but I feel like Milotic might do a little more in terms of just threatening both the Garchomp and the Salazzle, which are the two big pieces that Kami has into Adam's team. Being able to go Stomping Tantrum, Stomping Tantrum does super effective damage into half of the team. Having that stab ground type damage is big, and you are Scope Lens. Even if you don't get the Dragon Cheer boost, you are just increasing your opportunity of getting a critical hit.
We're going for the Dragon Cheer stuff. And the adjustments come out from Adam bringing the Milotic this time. I like this adjustment by Adam. Can switch out the Excadrill into Tyranitar if we want to, and threaten the Garchomp with an Ice Beam this turn. So definitely, Kami has to play around this very carefully.
Not even just the Ice Beam into the Garchomp, but going and using Scald into the Sash Salazzle doesn't have Protect, which means as long as they don't fake you out, you're going to go down. And then all you have to do is just switch the Tyranitar in, and you're set.
Yeah.
So you see 2 Protects here.
A Heat Wave coming up from the Salazzle foregoes the Protect this turn. Now, did Adam read this turn correctly?
Adam did not.
We did not. Okay. We read that Salazzle might fake out, but ended up going for that Heat Wave, which the Excadrill's Sash is still intact, which is important. But now I think if we had scalded that Salazzle and then just swapped into T-Tar, I feel like we are so far ahead if you're in Adam's position.
Yeah. So the Garchomp does switch out as it's threatened and goes into Corviknight. We see another switch,
Swap
which we do.
for the Excadrill into Tyranitar. Okay.
Yes.
A lot of pivoting.
Now the same exact play can be made. The Heat Wave comes off here.
No burns. No burns. Okay. And then the Scald. Yep. And this will take out the Salazzle, which that is a huge, huge pressure valve removed for Adam.
Now, Adam's last Pokemon is the Corviknight. I think he's in a phenomenal spot, especially because even if it's the Primarina, it doesn't really have the chance to hit the Milotic. The last Pokemon has to be Frostlass, we assume.
Yes.
But we see Garchomp coming out now. Now, Garchomp again is threatened. Maybe there's a double into the
Milotic this turn.
Milotic. Could be a Protect there. It really depends on the amount of speed that the Milotic has and the Corviknight have.
Mm-hmm.
Garchomp is the fastest Pokemon on the field and can threaten super effective damage into the Tyranitar. But yeah, we're going to see where they go. The Tyranitar, for its damage options, does have Knock Off. So knocking off into the... Oh, it's the Sinistcha.
It's Sinistcha's in the back. Heals up the Milotic. Okay, so Milotic is probably our end game here. If we can keep it alive here. Scalds reads this time. Scalds into the Corviknight. Fished for the burn, and we got it.
Yeah,
here comes Brave Bird now.
That's nothing.
Yeah, the burn matters there a lot.
Yeah.
I imagine K-Kid's Corviknight is very offensively leaning, not really so much defensively leaning.
Yeah. So the play right here is probably going to be either a Rage Powder or a Life Dew. Just making sure.
There is no Life Dew.
No Life Dew. There's no Life Dew. Yep, I'm thinking of my own. I was going to say, for listeners and viewers of the podcast who have seen this before, on the Emboar video, I pretty much 2v4'd someone only using, Oh, damn, there's a crit there.
We got a crit. Uh-oh.
Ice Beam takes out the Garchomp.
Yep.
So, down to the last 2 Pokemon. What is going on into the Excadrill spot, or is the Milotic about to go down?
We got a free Tailwind. Okay. We are set up on the speed side. Is this a Frostlass in the back to take the weather away? Is this Frostlass in the back? Or are we... We are Frostlass. Okay.
So I believe here you're probably going to see a double Protect.
I would imagine.
And then a switch into the T-Tar to get the weather back. Now, it is good to know that Kami's Frostlass is running Icy Wind, not Aurora Veil or Nasty Plot. So there really isn't a way for it to boost its defenses once the weather is gone.
Yeah.
And we see that weather change here.
Snow warning is up. Yep, here's the first Protect. No double.
No second protect.
This extra drill might go down here. Yeah, if this Corviknight can deal 25 damage through the burn, here we go. Ah, it's gone. Okay. Okay, we've got a game. It's not completely over.
I feel like that was a big piece of damage that Adam just let go down.
Yes. But we also were up 4-2. Tyranitar can come in here, reset the weather. I don't know what this Frostlass is going to do to Tyranitar in particular. So this feels very, very one-sided at this point. Milotic can go down pretty quickly. Like, not to understate it, Kamikaze has the speed control right now with Tailwind still up. Can get a lucky freeze, maybe. There's a lot that can still happen, but it definitely feels like this is Adam's game to lose.
Yeah, and honestly, at this point, he's probably just going to let the Milotic get down to let
Sinister come in
for free.
Yeah.
So Frostlass protects.
Brave Bird into the Milotic, try to take it out. Yep. Protects their ice type to make sure that we can hit the Sinistcha next turn. Adam, not reading the protect, just sends the knockoff into it, which is fine. I feel like that knockoff would have KO'd anyway, so you just gotta go for it. You can't just let it blizzard for free in that situation. Yeah. Okay, here we go. We're 2-2. One Mega versus another. I think it's going to come down to just, like, some Blizzard freezes, potentially. Maybe some Iron Head flinches.
One of the plays I would be curious about on Adam's side is if he can get the Trick Room up.
Yes.
Especially since, in the grand scheme of things, like, the redirection doesn't really matter. Corviknight doesn't have many moves that do a ton into the Tyranitar, especially now that it's burnt. And Blizzard's just a spread move anyway, so it's not like you're able to protect it.
Went for the Shadow Ball just to pick up the KO on the Sinistcha, just to maybe play around that potential option for Trick Room.
And Brave Bird, we see, does... Is that
9 damage, 11 damage, something like that?
11 damage, yeah. I can see. And knockoff into the
cleans up the Frostlass,
just takes it out.
Okay, so we are in Iron Head flinches. Like, just need like 8 of them in a row. Eight flinches in a row probably could do something, but I don't think we can make it that far. That's asking for a lot. Knockoff knocks off the leftovers, so now burn chip's going to matter. Went for the Roost play to heal up. So now, if you're Adam, I think you just, like, knockoff doesn't do a whole lot. Low kick's medium damage at best. Rock slide's probably your best damage. And you're not breaking through this Corviknight quickly anytime soon with this scenario. Sand's about to run out, which isn't going to matter a ton here.
No, it actually doesn't really matter at all. Another
crit.
Knockoff crit.
And another Roost from Kamikaze. We're stalling this game out as many turns as we possibly can.
I mean, Swede and Spinnerack are still playing. Just going through, and after this we can kind of go through some of our usage statistics.
Yes, that is the plan.
But right now, yeah, this is
another Roost.
This is going to be a bit.
I was gonna say you could probably maybe play for like HP, but we got 10 minutes. I don't think we got enough Roosts the last 10 minutes. This could be a situation of K-Kid stalling out all the knockoffs. And then once all the knockoffs are gone, you're just like playing for like Rock Slide luck versus Ironhead flinches. Ironhead? I don't know. This is there's a line here, I think, for K-Kid to try and stall this game out. Another crit. Goodness gracious. This T-Tart is trying to end this game so badly. We got...
Yeah, I feel like we might get to the point where the Rock Slide flinch chances might be better off than clicking the knockoffs.
Well, thank you. I have a co-host spec.
Hi, Kayla. Okay, well, I think Carl just left. I can't see his... I should be looking at that. He just left.
What are you talking about?
We just talk... Oh, he was quiet for a moment. I thought
I had food in my mouth.
Oh, okay, well...
Now we're going for
Iron
Ironheads.
doing. Yeah. Probably because we're out of roosts.
You would say it sounds like we're out of roosts.
Yeah.
So...
Looks like this is our last game. Spitterack, Simon, and Swede just finished up.
We are not out of roosts. We're back in it. Notable, I think, Burn would have taken out the Corviknight there if we did not roost.
Yeah.
How many? Now I think we're officially out of roosts. Yeah, I think we're officially out of roosts now. And that should be game. We'll wait for that to finish up. And that's game. Good game.
Hey! And we see Adam Santacos take the set. And we are officially done with round one. Looks like
our
again,
first
Simon
round.
Swede. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, I will say, folks, the Pokemon that you just saw, you're going to see a lot of. Out of our 9 players, 6 of them have brought Mega Tyranitar, making it above and beyond the most common Mega in the format. Sinisha is also ties Tyranitar at 6. Garchomp and Sneasler come tied in second place, or technically third, at 5 apiece. Corviknight on 4 teams. Incin, Milotic, and Aerodactyl on 3 teams. Sand doesn't mean Excadrill. Only 2 Excadrills to go with the 6 Mega Tyranitars. And then 2 Mega Frostlass, making it our second most used Mega. And then we have a handful of secondary Megas in the bottom. Other Mega Pokemon that we've seen are the Kangaskhan and Floette that Rockwell was playing. We have a Mega Aggron in the tournament. We have, I believe, a Mega Meganium. And Swede is running a Mega Glamora on his team, along with his Tyranitar.
I am a fan, Swede. I am a fan.
If you are a fan of rocks, like my wife, then this is the tournament for you.
Yeah, there's a plethora of rock types in this format. Yeah, just looking at everything, there's I was looking to see like only what the other megas were. Like you said, there was 6 Mega Tyranitars. There's 6 Tyranitar.
No,
I know
all of them.
All of them. No. Did you confirm all 6 of them are megas?
Yes.
Okay. That is a lot of sand. Only 1 Mega Floette, only 1 Mega Kangaskhan, are both Kangaskhan's Mega?
Both Kangaskhan's are
Limitless is weird. Limitless lets you put either or, and so it counts it twice, which is a little annoying.
Yeah, which is very annoying. And also, just for the future, do not put the Mega form of your Pokemon. Put the base form, because the base form and ability matter. For locals and everything, if you write the Mega form in the Mega ability, that's a team sheet error.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you will lose your Pokemon.
You will lose your Pokemon there. So we'll be nice today.
Yes, we're all going to know it's not anyone's fault but Limitless. They should fix this, because there's also an issue in Showdown where you can just type in the Mega, or you can type in the base Pokemon. We'll talk about that probably on the podcast and how to properly fill out a team sheet, or I do a video on that later.
More content, yes, that's what we want.
Yes, more content. Speaking of content, this is our Saturday content. Usually we will be taking these days off, but we want to make sure that we have the, just, doing a tournament, might as well stream it. I would like to say, thank you very much, everyone. 152 views as of right now on the Embar video, which is my first laddering video. I didn't think it was going to do that well, and it's kind of weird that over 100 people have looked at something that is the podcast that I did through the podcast, but still. So, thank you, everyone. Are my union fees covered?
Yes. For now. So, as our players go ahead and get in their rooms, we could, like you said, we took a little bit of a look at the metagame here. There's some interesting. I think, like I said, there's 6 sand teams. Out of the 9 players we have today, there's 6 Mega Tyranitar teams, so effectively 6 sand teams.
Yes. So going through everything, like, I would love to get Chris and Aaron, but we did feature Chris already, and we do have a matchup where we haven't seen anyone. Our top seed matchup yesterday was Dramatic, who is Esther, along with Spinnerack, a couple of our EU players going at it. And I think that should be the match that we go in at. Looks like at least Simon has checked in, and I can talk through the teams while we wait for that matchup.
Yes. Which one you want to talk about first?
Let's go, and let me actually pull this open and handle my tabs. Let's start with Esther's team. Esther is running again, a lot of these teams are going to be the same because a lot of them are going to be Mega Tyranitar teams. Mega Tyranitar, Rock Slide, Knockoff, Low Kick, Protect, supported by Sinistra with this is a Sinistra with no healing and no speed control. Protect, Rage Powder, Matcha Gotcha, and Shadow Ball, holding a Citrus Berry. Akaberry Corviknight with Bulk Up, Roost, Body Press, and Brave Bird. Milotic with Protect, Life Dew, Icy Wind, and Scald, holding lefties. A much more supportive set than what we were seeing Adam run next to the Tyranitar and the Sinistra. The ground type of choice is not Excadrill, but a Lumberry Garchomp with no rock coverage, running Poison Jab. The Poison Jab is very good into the Floette, which is pretty strong into this team since you're not running steel coverage on your Corv. The final Pokemon is a really cool Pokemon that's been picking up in usage. It is a Choice Scarf Rotom, this time being Rotom Heat, using Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Overheat, and Electro Web. So while there is no speed control, like hardcore speed control, whether it's the Tailwind or the Trick Room on the Corviknight and the Sinistra, Esther has both Icy Wind on the Milotic and the really fast Scarf boosted Electro Whip from the Rotom. Yes. On Simon's side, this is this is a 5-mon mirror. Simon, however, is running Dragon Dance on his Tyranitar with Knockoff and Rock Slide. This is another Sinistra not using Trick Room, Protect, Matcha Gotcha, Rage Powder, and Life Dew. Akaberry on the Corviknight with Brave Bird, Iron Head, Tailwind, and Roost. Scarf Garchomp with Stomping Tantrum, Earthquake, Dragon Claw, and Rock Slide. White Herb, Unburdened Sneasler, Protect, Fake Out, Dire Claw, and Close Combat. And a Leftovers Rotom Wash running Volt Switch, Electro Web, Hydro Pump, and Protect. So technically 6 Mons, but one of the Mons is a different form. Oh, yes. I'm sorry, yeah, 5 Mon, one of the Mons is a different form. But this is these are while it's the same teams, there's a few little tweaks on each one that makes them really unique, and I think that is one of the cool things in this format is that there are a lot of different teams. Like, we're seeing a lot of Tyranitar this week. Yes. I think it's just we have a lot of Sand fans in our server.
Yeah, that's partly. Sand is also the counter to most of these Sun teams that were currently dominating the ladder. And so
Yes.
a lot of people are also picking up Sand or T-Tar in particular to kind of interact with the Charizard Y metagame.
Definitely. Now, I'm curious because I really don't know much about the Sand matchups. I will go and say this. I love how they show the shinies. You see...
Oh, yeah, no, that's my favorite, one of my
yeah.
favorite things.
You see on Esther's side, she's showing off half her team is shiny, while Simon just has the shiny T-Tar. Actually, I'm not sure.
Is the Sinistra shiny? I can't tell.
The Sinistra should... So my Sinistra shiny, and I never tell.
Yeah, I recently just got shiny Sinistra last night, and I could not tell for the life of me whether it was shiny or not.
Yeah, when I was hunting it, I was just seeing if my Jolteon didn't want to knock it out immediately. I'm like, oh. So we have a Rotom Milotic lead. Double ice, could be double speed control spam, while Rotom and Corviknight come out here. The Rotom Heat is in a both... it's in a both good and bad situation. I'd say that the Rotom Wash on Simon's side is probably the best positioned Pokemon right now.
Yes. Having no real weaknesses to anything on the board, can hit both Pokemon on the opposing side super effectively. Like, there's a lot to like if you're a Rotom Wash on this board. We see a pivot from Corviknight into Garchomp, expecting that Volt Switch, which is called correctly, as we Volt Switch our own. This is
doing about 49% into the Milotic.
This is how I always expect Rotom mirrors to go. It's just Volt Switches back and forth until one or both players are sick of it, and then we start seeing actual damage. But correctly calling the almost say I would say a physical attacker coming into that slot with the Scald. But now,
so we have the Sneasler in for free, which means Fake Out is live for Simon, which could allow him to get some damage off using the Garchomp. But we will see how this goes. The Garchomp could threaten the Rotom, which
with a Rock Slide, yeah,
switches it into a Sinistra. Sinistra will also heal up the damage that Milotic took earlier on. As Fake Out goes into the Milotic, which means Esther will not be able to make a turn, as Rock Slide comes out, kind of bringing Milotic back to where it was before the hospitality buff heal. If you are Esther here, I personally would be trying to continue to pivot around the Sinistra. If you have like Corviknight in the back right now, you could bring Corviknight into the Sinistra slot and eat like an expected Dire Claw. And then that would mean that she didn't bring her Mega, which would be a little, I wouldn't say weird, but
in this particular matchup, T-Tar Mega doesn't mean a whole lot. When you're both playing with similar mons, the Mega T-Tar actually doesn't really line up that great into Simon's 6 because of that Rotom Wash. Instead, we just go for this Matcha Gacha, hoping to maybe get a burn and some healing on our Sinistra. Gonna be pretty close to full.
No burn.
No burns. No burns yet, which is fine. We want to see good games, not RNG fiestas. So now we've got Sneasler out against this Milotic and this Sinistra. We pivot Sinistra out, probably into the Rotom. Yep. Here comes a Dire Claw into the Milotic. No status on that. Rotom eats that Brave Bird, no problem. Is this a recover from Milotic, maybe? Nope, going for the Icy Wind, getting that speed control.
Now, this does slow down your Milotic.
No, but it also gives it the competitive boost.
which is one of my favorite things.
I was like, I'm sure you with the competitive boost, right? Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. That is one of the really cool things. Now, the Sinister could come in to try and keep the.
Yeah, I was say you could protect and bolt switch off this Corviknight or this Sneasler if you think you can maneuver around. Sneasler's White Orb did get used there, so it is probably now faster than the Scarf Rotom.
I do believe so, and at 87 HP, I wouldn't be shocked if the Rotom is.
You just hard switch here.
Combat.
Yeah, you probably would just want to hard switch here. I think maybe even Dire Claw might be able to pick up this Rotom, depending on how it's spec'd at that HP. Yep, there's the Protect. I imagine we're trying to Volt Switch, and we'll see if we get to do that. I don't think we're going to.
No, it's just a close combat.
Yep, I was saying, Sneasler is faster than the Rotom after its Unburden boost. So, bye-bye Rotom. Corviknight gets speed control back with Tailwind. But we do get to heal up this Milotic some more. We could bring Sinister back in here, get some more healing. I feel like Milotic is our win con in this matchup here.
No, at this point it definitely is.
It lines up decently well into everything anyway, and now it's +2.
Yeah, the Rotom Wash is the Pokemon that is the worrisome. Didn't go down yet, because the Rotom Wash does have the ability to just rip a Thunderbolt.
Notable thing here.
I'm sorry, a Volt Switch, not a Thunderbolt.
Esther's Sinistra does not have Trick Room access.
Yep.
And that was a line I was thinking about potentially being there. Is like Milotic's -1 now. You can go to set up Trick Room. Not something we can do here, but we still can do the Rage Powder thing. We opted to carry Shadow Ball or other Ghost types and or Psychic types. Things like Delphox Mega and whatnot. Rage Powder probably going to be eating a Brave Bird, I would imagine. There's the Brave Bird.
And it goes down immediately.
Yeah, that's kind of what you spec Corviknight for. This Scald's gonna hurt, though. I don't know who's taking it. It's the Corviknight. I'm about to say, this Scald's gonna hurt.
Down.
+2 Scald, even into like the Garchomp, probably would have done significant damage there.
Yes.
Now we can just bring in.
Well, I was going to say I don't think we've seen.
We haven't seen the
Pokemon.
4th yet, but like there's options for like our own Corviknight, our own like our T-Tar could be here. Garchomp could be in the back. I like Corviknight in the back.
Corviknight would be really
makes
good.
me feel very comfortable if I'm Esther. We are in the tank thinking about this though, because this is a big deal. Here comes Sneasler. It's Garchomp. There is no Tyranitar in the back for this game. If you're Esther, I feel like you just double protect. You have to double protect this turn.
Yeah. We're also trying to scout out what Simon's Garchomp is going to be, since he is running the Scarf Chomp.
Yes.
If I have to guess, Dragon Claw is pretty safe for Garchomp.
Correct.
Because
it's the safest move here, yeah. Wait, so that means no T-Tar for either player, because Rotom washes in the back.
Player.
Yeah, okay. I like it.
There's the Protect by...
Oh! We didn't protect our Garchomp. We're gonna eat a Dragon Claw. We lived the Dragon Claw. Did we KO the Sneasler? Oh no, we went for Earthquake! That's probably gonna KO the Sneasler and deal significant damage back to the Garchomp. Goodness. Good night.
Now, the Garchomp is also in a position where, now that it's Dragon Claw, it will feint attacking Esther's Dragon Claw. I mean,
Esther's Garchomp.
Dragon Claw. Esther's Garchomp with the Dragon Claw due to the rough skin.
And so now it's going to come down to a Rotom versus Milotic situation. I feel like if you're the Rotom, you just lock into your electric move and just click it into this... Milotic until it's gone. And
Yeah.
you just let your Garchomp go down, taking out their Garchomp. I don't think you care at this point.
So Esther uses Protect on her Garchomp.
Dragon Claw
Dragon
into
Claws
the Milotic. And a Volt Switch. Yeah.
And that is it for Milotic. And it looks like Simon has game 1 wrapped up.
Yeah, I was saying this is pretty much wrapped up.
It feels like Esther must have forgot about the Tailwind turn.
Well, no, so we're looking for speed ties now. Rotom's locked into Volt Switch. It can't hit Garchomp. So if we win the speed tie...
The Scarf is on... It's Esther's running the Scarf.
Oh, Esther's Scarf. That's right.
Yes, and it's the Garchomp here is Scarf. So
Okay.
Simon's Garchomp's always going out first.
Yeah.
Getting the KO first, as we see. They both go down, and Rotom just sits there wondering where all its friends went. So game 1 goes to Simon. Very close.
Like I mentioned earlier, this is not a Mega T-Tar game. This is you're going to use the rest of your partners to... You're going to use the rest of your partners to try to win this, because Mega T-Tar does not feel great in this matchup.
Going through the status of some other matches, Rockwell is just speedrunning this tournament, going from a fast 0-2 loss to bouncing back to a very fast and dominating 2-0 win versus Adam Santakos, bringing both players to a 1-1 record. We have, again, game 1 completed in this matchup, and from what it sounds like, game 1 of Aaron versus Chris has also completed in favor of Aaron. No word on the Swede versus Pioneer. Yeah, that's a matchup that, depending on how long this goes, I would like to go into after.
Yeah, I would say Sweden Pioneer is the next match, if we can get to that one. Even if we hop in at game 2. Like, I want to watch that one a little bit.
Yes. We have game 2 of this matchup coming up, and let's see what adjustments are being made by the players.
Let's see. No changes so far. Nope.
Oh, look, Manny's playing.
No changes at all.
I think the question...
Same leads, right? This is the same leads from game 1?
No, so the Corviknight was on Simon's side game 1, and he switched Corviknight in Garchomp Corviknight spot to be a Volt switch, and now that switching isn't available, so if Esther wants to make the pivot play that she wanted to go on in game 1, that is available. You can just target into the Rotom slot unless it goes back.
Volt switch. Yep, we get to see the free Volt switch here. What are the odds this is like Icy Wind?
I would love to see Icy Wind here.
Here's Rock Slide from Garchomp, locked in, makes sense. Our own Volt Switch into the Milotic tanks it really well.
Does a ton of that still does a ton of damage.
Well, it's going to because it's super effective, but Milotic tanked that very, very well for being a super effective hit. Now, who's in the back for Simon here? Who do we bring in? Probably Sneasler.
I was going to say, honestly, you could bring the Corvin as well. Now, if Esther did go for...
Got the Rock Slide flinch. Unfortunate.
I was going to say, if Esther did go for the Icy Wind, you could have made the play. However, even with that, the amount of HP that the Milotic's at, it's getting threatened by the Garchomp.
Yes.
So, I feel like Simon is in a really good spot. I think Esther lost a lot of HP on the most important Pokemon for
in this
her
matchup,
in this game.
This could be a Rage Powder plus Recover turn. This could be a just Protect and then like Shadow Ball the Garchomp. Or Matcha Gotcha and like hope that you live a Brave Bird. I don't think you will. Withdraws the Sinistra. We know the Garchomp's locked into Rock Slides. Yeah, we have to bring our own. We're bringing our own Garchomp here. Protect the Milo, get more left days recovery. And we know Simon's Garchomp's locked into Rock Slide. Hoping for maybe a miss. Nope.
No miss. Doesn't do much damage into Esther's Garchomp, and I think the main thing that she's looking at, and that was even with a crit, but the main thing that Esther's looking at was
Brave
probably
Bird.
seeing the Brave Bird
Yes.
into that Chomp slot, which Brave Bird into Garchomp would have done a lot of recoil damage to the Corviknight, making it more manageable. However, Simon just went right into the Protect. Milo did get a good bit of HP back. I do think it's going to be... Nope, no switch.
No switches. We are just looking to probably match Rock Slides here, I think. No, just going for the cleanup on the Garchomp. The Milo being
Now,
slower than the
Brave Bird-
Corviknight is unfortunate.
Yes. And that takes up Milotic. I do not think the crit mattered.
It did
at
not
all
matter.
there. No.
It did not.
And this Corviknight is in a really powerful spot.
Yeah, this Corviknight's pretty much unbothered outside of Rotom Heat coming in here. Because
Yes.
the Pivot Mon is on the field in Garchomp already, so Rotom Heat in the back does scare this Corviknight a little bit.
It does, but the Rock Slide lock in on Simon's side with...
Oh
his
no,
Garchomp.
so this is, you bring Sinistcha in here. Sinistcha comes
Yep.
in, and you just take out the Garchomp. And then Rotom gets to work for free. So we've got Volt Switch, Electro Web as our electric coverage moves here.
Mhm.
I don't really care for either of them. I almost think you just,
You do have Thunderbolt.
like, you get Thunderbolt into this Corviknight. I was about to say, you almost just want to maybe click Overheat to guarantee the KO. Dragon Earthquake, yep. While we have the Rotom out, just click Earthquake. That way we're not taking extra rough skin damage from the Garchomp.
And Garchomp is now down.
Tailwind set up by the Corviknight. I think Rotom is still faster than most of Simon's team with Tailwind up, outside of Sneasler.
Yeah, but the Sneasler coming in here will be
If it's Sneasler, it may not be Sneasler.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we know that we know that the Rotom's there. So it's, and they didn't bring T-Tar the first time, so it's, if you have to guess if it's...
Probably Sneasler.
Yes.
This is honestly pretty free. You could probably switch the Sinistcha and just click Earthquake.
Yeah, I think that probably is the best play there right now.
The Sneasler does have access to Fake Out, but if you're just clicking Fake Out and the Garchomp protects, you just let Esther heal up their Garchomp for pretty much free.
So the Garchomp gets its Hospitality boost from the Sinistcha, and Garchomp just goes for Protect. So
Yep.
Sneasler goes and fakes out the Garchomp.
Yep.
And Brave Bird
Esther
into the
read that
Garchomp.
turn
Esther-
perfectly. Pretty much
Now-
a perfect read on that turn.
Now Esther does have the option to double into the Sneasler, the Sinistcha slot. Now, no, does she have Protect? No, she has Protect on her
Yeah.
Sinistcha. So that double up is not safe. And
This
on Simon's
feels
end-
like a you have to save your Sneasler. Yeah, like you have to save your Sneasler, and then just let the Corviknight just take this Brave Bird recoil and just go down.
which it does, resulting in a double KO. But not the double KO that
They trade.
Yes. As Garchomp goes for Earthquake here, Garchomp is still free to click Earthquake because it has the Rotom coming out, and it's a Rotom versus Rotom battle potentially.
Rotom battles, love it. So, if we are in the realm of clicking just clicking T-Bolt into Simon's Rotom here, and praying Hydro Pump misses, I think we just lock into Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
We protect Garchomp because we want Tailwind to run out.
Which
We're not going to live
No
that.
protect from the
No
Garchomp?
Protector from the Garchomp. So we're hoping Hydro Pump misses here. Because we're probably going for that EQ this turn.
yeah.
No miss on the Hydro Pump. That's unfortunate.
Brings it down to 42 HP. And Garchomp uses Earthquake, missing the Rotom.
Which, well,
Due to its
Levitate.
ability.
Yep. And it's not enough to take
And
out the
not
Sneasel.
picking up Sneasler. So, it looks like, at this point, I think it's safe to say, especially with the Unburdened proc.
Yeah, with the Unburdened proc, this game's
Simon's
over.
2-0.
Yeah. With the Unburdened proc, this game is pretty much over.
It looks like Swede beat Pioneer 2-0. So this is going to be 2-0 for Simon. Our last match is going to be Aaron versus Chris. That is in a game 3.
We will jump to that if it's not over by the time this battle ends. Yep, close combat. Picks up the Garchomp. Rough Skin will probably knock out the Sneasler. And Rotom, left without
And
all of
yet
its
again.
friend again.
Wondering where everyone went.
Wondering where all of its friends are at. We will jump quickly into this one to see where it's at. Maybe.
So just a reminder for the teams. Chris, of course, is running the Mega Frost last team with the Incin, Palafin, Sinistra, Water, Fire, Grass, Sneasler, and Aerodactyl, while Aaron is running a dual Rock Mega team using Dragon Dance, Tyranitar, and Mega Aggron, the Recover, Ice Beam, Scald, Milotic, Coaching, Fake Out, Unburdened Sneasler, Imprison Sinistra, and No Protect, Wide Guard, Focus Sash, Aerodactyl. So it looks like
Missed the Matcha Gotcha. Oh no. Oh no. That is actually unfortunate. Because that would have maybe Oko this Milotic. Single
at the
target
point it's
Matcha
at,
Gotcha.
HP wise, there's a chance. Most of them, they aren't running any special attack. It's just bulk. But Aaron goes into his
Mega Aggron. For those that may not know what Mega Aggron's ability is, it's Filter, which means that super effective hits don't do as much damage to it as they normally would.
Yeah. Now, the thing that really hurts here is that with the Sneasler out, there isn't a lot Chris can do damage-wise into the Mega Aggron. His play right now is to click Matcha Gotcha as many times as possible and gun for that burn.
Yep, as I say, Bird is our out here.
Down to 44 HP.
Got the burn.
And the burn!
Got the burn. Okay. Heavy Slam into this Sinistra's not going to do as much now.
Yeah, now usually even without the burn, it's only doing about 50-ish percent. It's doing like around the 50-ish percent mark, depending on where it's at. But yeah, getting this...
Getting the burn matters here, because the chip plus... The chip plus maybe like a Rock Slide could put Aggron just out of this game.
Yeah. Now that since you Tailwinded, you're able to go and... Now that you have the Tailwind up, you're able to just go.
I'm about to say, I think you try to do a Wing Beat, and if
it misses.
Matcha Gotcha.
The Matcha Gotcha hits.
Aggron lived. Okay. Milotic's alive still. Milotic can go for a Scald here. Like, a crit from Aggron into the Sinistra. Nope, just went for the recover. We are playing for the long game, folks. Hoping for heavy slam and Aerodactyl. Even burnt, that is a ton of damage.
The Sandstorm subsides. Milotic gets its lefties recovery, but Aggron is going down to the burn, leaving Chris in a very dominant 3v1. This Sinistra is just in a position to clean up.
Yeah, Sinistra pretty much gets to sit there and not worry about anything this Milotic's really doing. Chris has the luxury of just being able to click to a wing beat and not have to worry about rock slide. We'll get to see if that single target miss earlier mattered or not.
No, we won't.
No, we won't. It keeps missing. Sinistra might be in trouble. Sinistra is not getting his chance, not being able to hit its Machagachas here. Gets its berry. But man, this Sinistra's got blinders on or something.
Sinistra is joining the Starbucks workers on strike. That's why I'm drinking La Colombe. No free ads, but also give me coffee, please. Would love that. Aerodactyl protects. Milotic protects.
Everybody protect. Machagacha. Still don't get to see it. We won't get to see it yet. I imagine the goal is like, stall at the Tailwind, so the Aerodactyl has to click Tailwind again, so Sinistra can move ahead of the Milotic. But that's also the opportunity you get to where you might be able to Ice Beam the Sinistra again. There's a Tailwind. There's the Machagacha. Hits this time. Did not. It might. Ooh. It was at what? It was at 102. So there's probably rolls that could have done it at solo. But here comes the Ice Beam. Freeze. Nope. No freeze. Okay.
No.
I feel like this game is probably over.
Yeah, especially because we can just go into the dual wing beat and Aaron forfeits. Bringing Chris back. He lost game 1. Took games 2 and 3.
Very, very nice. Let them get that.
And that is our last match. So we're about to go into round 3.
Yeah, we will
flying by, folks.
We will let them submit, and we will get everything organized here. Give you a quick update on standings once it's updated there. But yeah, we're flying through this pretty quickly. Definitely want to try and get Swede on next. Also, kind of want to see what Pioneer is doing, so we might go and find one of their matches next round. Remember to hydrate, y'all.
Yes.
Water's good for you.
Having it with my coffee.
Who have we not seen so far? We've seen pretty much everyone but Swede and Pioneer, correct?
Yes, and they played against each other.
And they played against each other.
We technically saw Rockwell, but wasn't fast. I would like to give Rockwell another shot at it, depending on where that matchup is going. But
okay. End round. Go ahead and pair the next round. I hope
round 3.
Getting round 3
so
looking.
We do have a drop. It looks like who dropped? Is that Datum?
That
looks like Adam dropped.
Looks like Adam dropped, which is fine.
Yes. So we do have everyone playing. We do want Swede. Do we want it? So it's Swede versus Esther. We have Rockwell versus Aaron. Kami versus Pioneer.
I want to do... Let's do Kami versus Pioneer, and then we can watch Swede in round 4 for maybe a potential, win in.
Okay, yeah. Let's go and do that. Of course, the winner of Simon versus Chris will guarantee their spot in the top 4, so that is also going to be an important match. But yeah, let's making sure that we're showing everyone's teams off. Pioneer's team, this is another sand matchup, like sand mirror, but Pioneer has a secondary Mega on his team, that being the Mega Meganium, which the Mega Meganium plus Sand has been something that's been popping up in a few places. I believe it placed very well at another Limitless tour within the past week or so. Actually, no, I'm sorry, it's not a Sand. Every time I think Kami, I think Sand, because that's the main thing he runs. And in the format where like Sand's really, really good, he's running Frostlass. Like,
yes.
So, yeah.
We might have to.
So yeah, this is going to be Sand versus Snow.
Meganium Sand is something that actually has started to gain traction.
Yeah.
Definitely seen a lot more of this Meganium with Tyranitar stuff more here recently. Everybody was very hyped about it with like on Rain because you get to reduce the fire damage. Well, Tyranitar also kind of just makes all the fire types go away. So
yeah. Well, it's not even that, and we've mentioned this on the podcast a lot. The reason why Tyranitar is so good as a setter is not only because Sand is just a really good weather, but when you look at your common Megas, just the common setters of the other weathers, Sun, all three of your Sun setters are weak to rock type attacks. Pelipper is your most common setter on Rain, weak to rock type attacks. And then you have Frostlass, which has started appearing, and Alolan Ninetales is your two most common snow setters, who are weak to rock type attacks.
Yeah.
So Tyranitar, not only being a weather disruptor, but a weather eliminator is huge.
You keep talking. I gotta go handle stuff.
Good thing. So right now, we see Sneasler and Aerodactyl lead for Pioneer into Kami's Corviknight and Kangaskhan lead. Noting that Kangaskhan is one of the potential Megas, we could see a case where the Snow wasn't brought and we have a Mega Kangaskhan game. Kangaskhan, of course, just good in general, being a Fake Out Mon. Doesn't get a chance to Fake Out this turn because it eats the Fake Out of the Sneasler. As Pioneer's Aerodactyl sets up Tailwind, how will Corviknight respond? With an Iron Head into Aerodactyl itself, bringing it down to 33 HP. We have a...
I'm working on it.
Okay, thank you. So right now we're going into our second turn of the game. For those of you who weren't able to get into the teams, we see the Aerodactyl and Sneasler, the Meganium, and the Tyranitar for Pioneer. We also have Choice Scarf Basculegion and Soft Sand, Scale Shot, Earthquake, Stomping Tantrum, Garchomp to round out Pioneer's team. Kangaskhan clicks Protect, keeping itself safe from the potential close combat, while Aerodactyl goes into a Rock Slide, missing the Corviknight, and then close combat into the Protect on the Kangaskhan. Very safe turn for Kami, who gets the Brave Bird off into Sneasler, picking it up with a one-hit KO. That is a phenomenal turn, too. Sneasler being one of the more threatening Pokemon into the Kangaskhan, so if we are going the Mega Kangaskhan route, this is a really good spot. Half of the Tailwind turns have been used up, and we see Mega Meganium. So if you are bringing Mega Meganium, that means that is probably going to be your Mega of choice. It's one of these Pokemon where you're only using it and bringing it if you're going to click the button. One of the things that Mega Meganium is able to do with its Mega Soul ability is it treats all moves as if the sun is up, which means that Weather Ball into the Corviknight is very threatening because it will always be treated as a sun-boosted fire-type attack off of a very high, like 147 base special attack. And we see it right here. Meganium Mega Evolves. Nice to see a Mega Evolution that is not a Tyranitar.
Not a Tyranitar, yeah. I was about to say, it's kind of nice.
Sucker Punch picks up the Aerodactyl as we see what... Well, first, who's going to be fast? Well, it's going to be Meganium faster for the Tailwind. And is this enough? Oh, absolutely. Wow.
Yeah. Mega Meganium, it hits pretty hard. the ability getting to feature this now is like Mega Soul is actually a really unique ability in how it interacts with like other weathers. One of the cool mechanics why Tyranitar Sand works so well and why it works as a good Tyranitar counter to say, Solar Beam will ignore the Sand boost for Tyranitar.
Now, with Frostlass being brought, it kind of shows that the plan was to play this Frostlass endgame instead of leading into the Kangaskhan. Now, again, Mega Soul is going to let the Weather Ball be insanely threatening into Kami's Mega Frostlass. The Basculation here is Choice Scarf as well. Running Last Respects, Flip Turn, Wave Crash, and Aqua Jet. You're probably going to see lock into the Wave Crash because you don't want to lock into Last Respects in front of the Kangaskhan.
Is this is the last turn of Tailwind, correct?
Yes, it is. This is the last Tailwind turn, so you can probably see a double protect.
I was say, I would almost expect a double protect. With the Basculegion being scarfed, you probably just make sure this Kangaskhan lives to the end of the game, right? Yeah, because
depends on what the
yeah, you just make sure Kangaskhan lives to the end of the game. You take out the Meganium as fast as you can, and then you take out the you just let Kangaskhan clean it up. This is a probably I would see Mega Frostlass, or potentially see like Sucker Punch come out from Kangaskhan here. You could see Mega Kangaskhan with Sucker Punch, this Basculegion.
Yes.
There's a lot of lines here for K-Kid to figure out here. This is going to be this is the fun part of Pokemon, is trying to figure out the puzzle. Yep, here's the Mega.
Yes, so we are going with the Mega Kangaskhan, even though the Frostlass is there. Now, the Sucker Punch will be able to hit twice.
It might be enough to take it out. Oh, no Sucker Punch. No Sucker Punch. What did we do
so
then?
He's probably going for...
Oh,
first body
that's
disabled.
so cool. Okay.
So, at this point...
Yeah, Meganium just takes a chunk, and we still have another Pokemon in the back if you're K-Kid here. So
how much does the Solar Beam do? Like, you did just lose about a third of your HP.
It's gonna probably take out the Kangaskhan. I'd be surprised if it. Oh, close. Very close.
Doesn't.
Very close. Okay. So Basculegion is stuck on Struggle, and we have a Garchomp. I feel like you just take out this Meganium. I feel like it's very safe to Sucker Punch the Basculegion here and click your Iron Head move into Meganium. I feel like that's the safest
But
line.
You don't have Iron Head.
We don't have. This one doesn't have Iron Head. This one has.
Yeah, it's Stomping, Rock Slide, and Dragon Claw. So you can't click Dragon Claw. And the Sucker doesn't get it.
It's Struggle, so Struggle's gonna take it out.
Yep. Struggle into Kangaskhan, getting both of those KOs.
Like it's like I said, Struggle's gonna take itself out here. So if we just clicked Rock Slide, yep, connects. That's probably game. Yep, there it is.
And that is
Crit. The crit did not matter. No, not single target. Not single target Rock Slide.
So yeah, it's single target. And you also are running Scope Lens, so you can count on that crit more.
Yeah, you get to do that a little bit more. Very interesting game one.
The Meganium does have Dazzling Gleam, which if there was a miss or if it mattered,
we'll go back in. That was the I think the room dropped. We will join back in here in a second.
Let's hope that the room stayed.
It should. If it didn't, then we will...
The technical issues are... Hold on, folks. As we work through some technical difficulties.
Put our room back.
You joined your own room.
I cannot... Let me see here. While we're here, I gotta do this too. Can I remove them from the room? No, I can't. So we will make a new room, I think, once we're done.
For round 4?
Yeah, we'll make a new room, I think. Unless I'm able to... Oh, I can. Ha ha, I can do it.
Okay, well, that's easy.
That's so easy. All right.
Hey, let's...
Back to our games. Back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Yes, going into game 2 of this set.
Learning new stuff every day. I did not know we could kick people like that.
Yeah.
Looks like we
So
just
far,
got into it.
Yep. So far, no other games have been reported. So we're into game 2 of this.
Mega Kangaskhan already on the field. Let's see it.
So it's Mega Kangaskhan and Primarina versus a Meganium and Sneasler lead. And yeah, both Megas just ripped immediately. Just going for it.
Just going for it. All out. Fake out into the Kangaskhan. It's a crit. Crit fake out. Is this Solar
Kangaskhan
Beam?
flinches.
Oh, Dazzling Gleam.
This is Dazzling Gleam.
Not a Solar Beam.
Doing a decent bit of chunk into both, and Hyper Voice.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Really handling that Sneasler.
Crits on both
Critical hit,
sides.
yes.
Everybody gets crits. You get a crit, you get a crit. Everybody gets a crit.
The question here is, you can sucker into the Sneasler, you just take it out, because it is threatening close combat into you.
Yeah,
And
like you gotta.
this
I think you have to.
However, just
I feel like
this Meganium, however, feels really safe.
if you, I say, yeah, if you try to sucker the Sneasler, you just probably lose your Kangaskhan.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you just went for the double edge in the Meganium, that feels the safe. Like that feels like that's like the next level play. Okay, so we don't know if it actually went into a protect yet because the way it. Okay, yeah, okay. So the way the animation for Solar Beam and Solar Blade works is it doesn't tell you it went into a protect until after the charge turn.
Yes.
So for things like this, where it's Mega Soul, it has to do the charge turn, and then it'll tell you if it went into a protect or not.
Yeah, so you get to get your hopes up with the...
Yeah, yeah.
With everything, and then it gets, it goes away.
So now we have a Corviknight. What can we do with a Corviknight here? Do we just let Primarina go down and like set Tailwind for speed control? Do we just take out the Sneasler and try to double protect?
I think you might try to double protect. Maybe it is a really difficult situation because the Corviknight the Corviknight isn't even really safe into this Meganium because of the fact that it has this Weather Ball that has the ability to just take it out immediately.
Resist.
So Dire Claw goes into the Garchomp.
Oh, so close. And Corviknight's going to go down again. This is going to take out the Corviknight. Oh no, not this time.
No, it doesn't.
So it's not a guaranteed. It's a roll. Tailwind is off. Tailwind. Okay. Sneasler's Unburden has not procced
Not been procced, no.
Okay, okay. So, if you are K-Kid here, I feel like you want to Rock Slide and just Roost.
Brave Bird? Rock Slide Roost, yeah. Well, no, because if you...
K-Kid's the one with the Roost, right? Right? That's the one I'm remembering?
Yes, yep. It is
I feel like you want to protect this Corviknight so much at this point. Yeah, especially with, like, protecting Meganium here.
Yeah.
You just Roost this turn. Because what's Meganium gonna do to you as a Corviknight if you just Roost in front of it? Just it goes for the Iron Head.
God. The Iron Head is super effective as well. A little bit of a safer because you aren't going to knock yourself out. What is really nice is that the Aerodactyl Sash is already broken and it is in range for another
Rock Slide.
Rock Slide. So I do think Rock Sliding to Iron Head again is probably safe.
Swaps
As the
Beginning
game just
out.
switches out.
Basket Legion comes in.
Legion.
Probably was hoping
to
to get a miss on Aerodactyl so we could set up a Tailwind. That crit probably didn't matter. After seeing how much damage it did the first time, I don't think that crit mattered. And so now in comes what? Sneasler, maybe? The Basket Legion's in trouble. You can't sit there and let Basket Legion just go down. So the Sneasler can't attack Garchomp because it'll just go down unless it's like trading close combat for Rough Skin. The Corviknight, this probably feels like a. I wouldn't want to trade my Corviknight yet with the Basket Legion. I think you just.
No.
I think you just want to try to either double protect here around the player on a fake out, maybe. This turn's tough. This is where we start to get into. Yep, there's the fake out into the Garchomp. So you traded your Sneasler for the fake out. I feel like that's fine.
Garchomp flinches, and now Basket Legion gets the last respect off into the Corviknight. So we're down Garchomp and Primarina versus Corviknight and
Meganium.
Basket Legion. I'm sorry.
Basket Legion, Meganium.
Now, what's key here is that the Basket Legion can actually click Last Respect safely now. Well, it can click it in general, but there's no disable or normal type move on the normal type Pokemon on the other side. Yeah. So I feel like the Basket Legion alone with its Scarf should have the ability to sweep through. Last Respects into the Garchomp and then
Solar Beam,
or even just using Dazzling Gleam to just cover.
Yep, there's.
But you don't need to cover right there.
Yeah.
You can just pick up.
And then Solar Beam should clean it up.
We're going into Game 3.
Going to have a Game 3. A lot of Game 3 so far today. I'm enjoying this.
I am too. Going through everything, it looks like Simon has taken Game 1 against Chris, while Aaron has taken Game 1 against Rockwell.
If we have time, we'll jump to
Well, I was going to say, it looks like Swede right now. They haven't reported yet. They're probably still in Game 1, so we can probably pop into there. It'll be nice to just get Swede on to just show off this matchup.
Yes, and then we'll pick our win and end matchup and focus on it. All right, so Game 3, what did we do different for Kami between Game 1 and Game 2? We had Primarina before. We dropped the Frostlass for the Primarina. I feel like that's incorrect with just how many Pokemon are probably weak to Ice on Pioneer's side, but
yeah, I think like leaning into the I think leaning into the Frostlass mode wouldn't be the worst thing, especially when you look at it. The Sneasler really can't do much into Frostlass. Yes, you have to deal with the Last Respects from Basket Legion, but
if you just bring Kangaskhan, Basket Legion can never lock into that safely if it gets to a 1v1. I think protecting Kangaskhan is your win con here because Pioneer is leaning heavily on this Basket Legion. So much so that it's on the lead. So, if you are Pioneer, you want to prevent this Corviknight from just Brave Birding into your Sneasler and taking it out. So you probably want to fake out that slot. And then Basket Legion may be looking for like a big Wave Crash or a Flip Turn, depending on what you got in the back, what you're expecting.
We are waiting to see what our trainers lock into. As
Protect.
Frostlass doesn't Mega, goes into its Protect.
Yup. Fake out in the
Just take
Corviknight.
that into the core.
Probably just looking for big damage. Yep, there's the flip turn. Looking to flip off the Frostlass.
And Corviknight was unable to move.
Because of the fake out. But everybody's back to full HP. Nothing happened.
The Basket Legion is locked into flip turn, which I think makes
This feels like a safe Mega my Frostlass, and yeah, I'm about to say this feels like a very safe Mega Frostlass turn.
Now with the boost of the snow, Frostlass effectively has a +1 to its defense, which in front of 2 physical attackers is really good. Flip turn goes into the Corviknight doing about like a third of its HP.
About roughly, and then if we the way I was reading Kamikaze's turn, it was like a set Tailwind with Corviknight and Blizzard.
And Aerodactyl is out now.
Going for the Icy Wind instead. Goodness gracious. If we went Brave Bird on the Corviknight, this Sneasler might go down here.
Yes, but the Sneasler does get to move before because of its White Herb. And it clicks Close Combat into the Corviknight.
Not enough to take it out.
31.
There's the Brave Bird.
As Corviknight Brave Birds.
Takes out the Sneasler.
Now, with the recoil damage, though,
it's a trade. It's 100% a trade.
It might live on 1.
No, it's a trade.
It did not live on 1. We're trading the Corviknight for the Sneasler there.
Which means our Kangaskhan gets to clean up the Basque Legion in the back. Here's our Garchomp. Last Respects in the Frostlass likely KOs at this turn.
Now that it has the boost due to the Sneasler being
But here's the trade-off. Aerodactyl's -1 now, so Garchomp gets to move before Aerodactyl. So this could just be a Garchomp targets the Basque Legion, and you just click Rock Slide and Protect, and just take out the Aerodactyl and damage the Basque Legion this turn.
I think that could be the play, and it's also, if you do that, you're able to make sure that if you do have the Kangaskhan in the back, you can kind of ignore the Basque Legion and try to force that 1v1. However, Aerodactyl is switched out for Meganium.
You kind of just want to see what this Basque Legion is going to lock into. It went for the Last Respects. Yeah.
And it just takes it out. No issues.
Yeah, no, there's one KO puts Last Respects at enough damage to take it out, no problem. So now we get to see if the Kangaskhan's sitting in the back. Nope, it is a Salazzle. Making another adjustment. Okay. So I don't feel comfortable with Salazzle right now.
Yeah, it does have Sash, but, like, does Heat Wave pick up Mega Meganium? Even
it's
with the
rough.
Rock Slide?
It's close. It would be close. With a Rock Slide plus Heat Wave, it'd be really close. I think you got to go for Rock Slide regardless if you're Garchomp. Oh, I forgot you have to just have Fake Out this turn. So Meganium can't actually hit you.
But you just brought down to
Yeah, you get brought down to Sash.
Sash.
If it's Dragon Claw, probably takes out Basque Legion. Yep.
It does.
All right. We are in... So, if you're Pioneer, you probably want the Tailwind, because you probably want to be able to Mega Meganium and then make sure you move faster than Salazzle.
So you actually, your Aerodactyl's already faster than Salazzle. You can easily just
oh yeah, Salazzle doesn't have Protect.
Yeah.
Because it's playing the Dragon Cheer.
Yep, you can easily just go for Rock Slide to pick the Salazzle up.
That's risk. That's the risk play. Yeah, this is just you Tailwind Dazzling Gleam. You Tailwind Dazzling Gleam. I was about to say you don't click Rock Slide. You just click Tailwind.
Oh yeah, you have D-Gleam, not Moonblast. Yeah, Tailwind D-Gleam picks up both.
Nope.
Nope, doesn't pick up the Garchomp. the Garchomp isn't doing anything until you're relatively full health in game.
No. Not with Tailwind up. This should be...
Yeah, I made the dumb greedy play. I would have made the dumb greedy play. I would have threw right there. No, the Tailwind is always better, because, yeah, this right here is a Deagling, or honestly, any move, only 39 HP. Yeah. It picks up, and Pioneer takes his win.
Congrats to Pioneer.
So let's see what else. We have...
Everybody else
Simon is locked. Everyone else is done. Aaron 2-0ing Rockwell, Simon 2-0ing Chris, and then a 2-1 win by Esther over Swede. So right now we have 3 2-1s
and a 3-0.
A 3-0 and 4 1-2s. So let's see what the last match of Swiss has, what last round of Swiss has to offer. Yes, congratulations to Simon for locking in that last spot.
That first spot.
First spot, yes. We'll see who locks in the last 3.
All right. So our table 1 is going to be Simon and Aaron. Our table 2, and the game we're probably going to watch, is Esther and Chris. I know we want to watch Swede, but Swede being
1
at
and 2,
1 and 2.
We just also have featured Tommy twice. And yes, we are going to be showing Esther and Chris again, but this is for a win and in. We are sorry, Swede. Play really slow, and if this is fast, we'll get to you.
Let me open up this. Make sure we have our 8 people. Everybody's back from their matches. Okay, let them all get into their spot, get everybody paired up and checked in. We want more Swede. We'll see what happens at the end of this, of our win and in here. Yes. If the win and in goes fast enough, we will definitely have more Swede. We will definitely try to go get Swede. Let's see here. Waiting on everybody to finish up. I say, Swede, you just play too fast. Your matches end too quickly, so we haven't been able to actually go to your games yet.
Oh, it's Swede on? I'm not even looking at the
Swede's on the YouTube side over here on the YouTube chat. Hi, Swede. Waiting on, I believe, Chris to get locked in here.
Yeah.
Justice for Swede. Maybe we can bring Swede onto the broadcast and we could have him chat with us.
Yeah.
Maybe in a future tournament, if he doesn't want to play, he can come do commentating stuff with us again. We miss Swede. So we miss Swede about as much as everybody else misses him. Okay.
Yes. So we have our match here, and we are ready to go.
Getting locked in. Win and in, lose, and maybe go home.
Yeah. So the way it's working, it depends. So if Aaron is able to take a game off of Simon, that will not lock him in. And at that point, that would mean the winner of this game is going to make it. Depending on what happens with Aaron, and even then Aaron's resistance looks pretty good. You're going through his matchups. He had the bye round 1. He lost. He has Chris round 2. And then he beat Rockwell, so like the bye might be helping with his res.
Yeah, maybe. Usually buys aren't great for your resistance, so we'll have to see.
I would say Chris winning this would definitely really help his res.
Yes. Chris winning would definitely help Aaron's resistance.
Yeah. Right now we're going into the Milotic T-Tar lead and Frostlass and Sneasler. Now Chris is running the Aurora Veil on his Frostlass, so that defensive mark is there. Esther, on the other hand, though, has the ability to Mega her Tyranitar to override the potential weather of Chris's Frostlass.
Just everybody protecting. Everybody protecting. Very good read by Chris. Very good read by Esther. Okay, we're just going back and forth.
And the burn, though.
The burn is going to play a role here. With that, I do not think Sneasler can OHKO this Tyranitar now.
I do not think so either. That is rough.
So now, if you are Esther, I feel like you can play a little bit more safe, whereas Chris may have to take a little bit bigger of a risk. This also maybe forces Chris's hand with Frostlass. Yeah, gotta switch out Frostlass, heal up our Sneasler a little bit more, so we don't just die to another Scald.
And the Mega is locked in on Esther's side, trying to keep the weather control, as Mega Tyranitar keeps the Sandstream ability. Post combat still fires into the Mega Tyranitar, and even with the burn, does 3/4 of its HP.
Yep.
That is a lot of damage. Void Herb activating to normalize the defense.
Oh no, we're life doing. Okay. Rock Slide. Misses.
Misses the Sneasler.
Yep, hits the Sinistra.
That's actually been a really good turn for Chris.
Yeah, after getting the burn, very good turn by Chris, being able to recover some of the momentum here.
Yeah, if there was no burn, it could have. I don't think you could have gotten a perfect team. Well, at that point, I don't think Esther leaves her Tyranitar.
Yeah, if the burn wasn't there, then Tyranitar does not stay in.
Yeah. Now the question is, does the Tyranitar protect again, or it just doesn't
swap
stay at all?
Into our own Sinistra.
Into Sinistra. Healing up Milotic even more, where it is now back at full HP.
Is this an Ice Beam, maybe? Icy Wind, now that the White Herb's gone, looking to maintain some speed control against Chris's faster Pokemon there. Icy Wind does put the Citrus Berry range in play for that Sinistra, and it's probably going to be at near full after this.
The Makagaka doing only a third into the Milotic, so this has a lot more special defense than the Milotic that we saw, I believe, Simon using.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sinistra at a good bit of HP now after its Citrus Berry and the Machagacha. Everyone takes their designated sand chip, except for Milo, who just gets to ignore it because lefties. And then Sneasler gets more chip because of the burn. So if you are Esther here, I feel like you could just Shadow Ball into that Sneasler and maybe take it out. Protect your Milotic this turn and just Shadow Ball. I could also see Chris just going for the Dire Claw or just switching right here.
Oh, if this is Frostlass and Esther went for that Shadow Ball line, we are... Went for the Shadow Ball, just into the wrong one.
Into the Sinistra.
But
taking it out here...
That crit might have mattered.
Yeah.
That might have mattered. But that was... Getting the Icy Wind drop here on the opposing Frostlass is good for anything that Esther might have in the back. But now our Icy Wind's disabled.
Yes. So, forced to click Scald.
I think that's fine. I think we're fine with that. The Icy Wind was there just to make sure we would pick up the Sinistra. Okay, so we are going to be base form Palafin for the rest of this game.
Yeah, Chris not being able to get the Palafin out really does hurt.
Never.
Not,
I will say this:
never,
do not underestimate base form Palafin.
Yeah, the difference between good Palafin players and great Palafin players are the great ones know how to play the base form Palafin. It does just suck that it was never able to be properly positioned to get into that hero form, because the hero form Palafin would be in a really good spot right here.
Hero form puts it on easy mode.
Yes.
Sinistra gets the free protect here. Close combat into the... Expecting a Tyranitar switch into weather.
Yes. As the Blizzard comes out.
Blizzard comes out into the Milotic. Does maybe 30.
Do we see a freeze?
We do!
Yes, we do!
Now do we get to see the mechanics? Yes, we do! Freeze,
yes.
Freeze has a 25% chance now to...
It's always melted by Scald.
That too.
Yes.
But...
So, yeah.
It gives us the opportunity to talk about one of the status changes. They changed Freeze, Paralysis, and Sleep for champions.
Yes.
Freeze now being a guaranteed thaw by the end of the second turn.
Yep. There's no endless freezes.
Thank goodness.
Zach Weed wishes he had that.
I bet.
My poor child. But yeah.
Now Sinistra comes out. This is probably still going to be a close combat into this T-Tar, but we're taking the weather away from the Frostlass. No, just a Wave Crash.
Which is still safe.
It's still safe.
Take out that KO.
The problem is you're trading HP now instead of... You're trading your actual stat instead of a defense drop. And we missed.
Blizzard miss.
Took away the 100% blizzards. I feel like if Esther has Rotom or Corviknight in the back, this game's just over. But you don't even have to probably reveal it this turn. You can bring Sinistra in, heal your Milotic up even more. And then once the Palafin's down, then you can bring in your Rotom or whatever. Oh, nope, we're just going for it. We're going for it, okay.
So I think this is probably for Chris at this point. It's figuring out your calcs. How much does a Jet Punch do into your Rotom in the baby form as you prep for games 2 and 3?
Yeah. Knowing how much your Jet Punch is going to do is going to be probably critical. Oh wait, we still have the Burnt Sneasler.
Oh wait, I thought that was this small thing. Wow, that's bad on us. So yeah, no, this is something.
Sneasler's gonna go down. I think this turn.
It's going to go down after this because of the burn and the Sands chip.
Yeah.
As Sinistra comes in.
Sinistra's gonna come in. Heal up Milo. To be fair, the burn and the faint symbols look very similar in color, and so we're watching on very tiny screens.
Oh, of course, yeah, this is small. Just maximize it on my end. So the Icy Wind now is no longer disabled, and we're going in with the Hero Palafin.
So now, is Palafin Hero able to break through this Milotic is the problem.
I think the play here is
I don't know if you can click close combat safely.
Because of the Rage Powder, yes.
Yeah, you can't click close combat safely, so you have to click either Jet Punch or Wave Crash. You protect this turn.
Yeah, and then see if the Blizzard's able to pick up. Or you just Shadow Ball.
Yeah, you can't risk the Blizzard. Yeah, you can't risk the Blizzard. Now here's the other situation. Does Jet Punch take out the Rotom?
We're gonna find out.
I say we're about to find out, because that's what's gonna matter here. Because I feel like we're gonna see probably an Electro Web from the Rotom this turn. and a Scald into the Milotic, and then from the Milotic into the Frostlass. That would be my guess. It could also just be T-Bolt, if that's, or if Volt Switch, if that's what we want to do. Jet Punch into Rotom is enough to pick up the KO. Shadow Ball.
Comes out. Now, one of the things that you might have to worry about
is a special defense drop.
Just as we saw, because now competitive is active. I don't think even with this competitive boost, Scald is enough, and it doesn't really matter because the damage went into the Palafin. But it looks like this was just enough for Chris to break through this.
Maybe. We'll see.
I believe Shadow Ball should pick up just based on the damage it did.
So we get a turn to protect. This is the last turn of Sand Chip, so we'll get lefty's recovery.
But they also have the special defense drop.
Yeah, no, it's still the special defense drop, but we can get a double protect to maybe get enough lefty's recovery where we live on like 2. It is by no means over yet.
Let's see.
I think you try to double protect, I think is the line. We lived on 12.
Oh, it lives!
Scald into the Frostlass takes it out.
It takes it out. Wow, even with that drop.
The first Shadow Ball didn't do as much as you thought it did.
I tried some chip, yeah.
It did not do as much as you thought it did.
Esther just squeaks by with
Squeaks
game 1.
Out game 1.
Let's check on how the other matches are doing. Looks like Kami already beat Swede, finishing at 2-0. Rockwell is up against Pioneer 1-0. And Simon is up against Aaron 1-0. Yeah, Swede was playing fast as hell games.
Yeah, Swede played it very, very quickly. If you are Chris, what changes do we make? Just don't get our burn. Don't let Sneasler get burnt.
I really think it's just don't let
I think the teams, the 4 selections on both sides were perfect. I think it's just some luck went each other's way, and more luck went Esther's way this time than Chris's.
And Chris just mentioned to me, like, he believes that just this general matchup of Tyranitar plus Rotom plus Milotic is a difficult matchup for him.
Mm-hmm.
He already had some experience with it up against Pioneer, and yeah, it's difficult. I think the other thing is just
good swap by both players here. Chris expecting Rotom on the lead, bringing the Palafin out. Esther expecting Sneasler still brings out the Garchomp.
I think it's really good by Chris as well because you're able to get that Hero Palafin active a
lot quicker. Yeah, you're not letting it sit there and take damage in trade off for whatever a little bit. It looks like Simon has won their match, so Aaron is now 2-2. We're going to probably go down to a 2, 4. There'll be 2 3-1s. Potential 1 3-1, and then 2 2-2s making top cut.
Yep.
Fake out into the Garchomp. Volt Switch onto the Palafin. That is, you're just trading big damage there.
Yeah, that was big by Chris. Like, very ballsy to assume that it would be able to live that. And we'll see what comes out. Probably the Milotic.
Yep.
We see here.
Expecting maybe a flip turn or
There's
wave
no
crash.
turn.
Just
look
to see if we was gonna trade. And it just wasn't
a little bit of damage.
So this Palafin is not long for this world.
Not at all.
We do know we want to try and keep it around because the Jet Punch does OHKO the Rotom.
Yes.
So I could see a hard switch here into maybe the Sinistra, or
I think Sinister is very safe here.
I wouldn't want to switch into Frostlass here just because Garchomp's sitting there with a potential like Rock Slide or something. Yep, here's the hard switch. Is it Frostlass? It's Frostlass. Okay, so this is where it gets a little hairy. Swapping
Milotic
out the Milotic back into the Rotom. Okay. Sweet said he had to leave after game 1 in his match.
Yep, so close combat into the Garchomp.
Is this just an Earthquake then?
It could be.
That would be the reason why it switched Milo here. Yep, it's just an Earthquake. Does it KO the Sneasler? Is the question. It does.
Should. And it actually does a really good chunk of damage into the Frostlass as well. Now, with the Scarf on Rotom, it is faster than the Frostlass.
Here comes the Palafin for Jet Punch. So now, do we just let the Rotom go?
You could switch it. I think on Chris's side, like you kind of have to target into that.
You have to Jet Punch the Rotom. If you don't Jet Punch the Rotom, you probably die to E-Web plus EQ.
Yep. So I think the play on Chris, it has to be using your Mega Stone, Mega Evolve of Frostlass, and clicking like Blizzard Jet Punch.
So we're just okay. We're just baiting some shenanigans here.
And there's going to be no switch.
Not yet, anyway.
Not until the Volt Switch comes out.
Yeah, Volt Switch is a possibility here. Electro Web is also a possibility. Garchomp protected, so this is a Volt Switch probably. Electro Web, okay. Garchomp is now faster than most of those Pokemon. Aurora Veil goes up for Chris. Okay. So here's the scenarios now. We're locked into E-Web on this Rotom. We probably could click Electro Web and Rock Slide and see what happens. I don't know if Aurora Veil is enough to keep this Frostlass alive through a Rock Slide or an Earthquake. Just swaps the Garchomp out. Okay. Takes the weather away. That makes sense. Just plays it safe. Just takes that. You're locked into Electro Web anyway. You can just keep clicking it. This might take out the Aerodactyl, honestly, through the Aurora Veil. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, cool.
It does not.
Sets up the Tailwind. So Aerodactyl's technically back to neutral. Frostlass is technically at +1. But with the Sand up, you can effectively start to whittle this Frostlass down.
Yeah, a lot of Chris's Pokemon have taken a lot of damage.
Yeah, everything's really low.
Yeah, like in the totality of things, he has like under 100% of his total HP. And Esther's Pokemon are just really healthy. Sure, Chris is able to threaten a lot of KOs, whether it's the Blizzard into the Garchomp.
Blizzard missed the Rotom and the Tyranitar.
And the T-Tar, and that's probably it.
Oh, not quite. Not quite. Frostlass is still around. Aerodactyl Rock Slide flinch into the Tyranitar? Nope. Yeah, that's probably game. That is probably game.
Yeah, Palafin is a hero, but unable to 1v4.
Yeah, Palafin is a hero, but he even can get ganged up on sometimes by some bad guys.
Yeah.
All right.
So we are still waiting for the winner of Pioneer and Rockwell.
It just ended. It just ended game 2. It looks like.
Yes.
or they are just either just started game 3 or just ended game 2, one of the two. So we'll jump into that one while we finish up the round. Yep, so just started game 3. So this feels like an okay Mega Floette like line, but you just gotta make sure you handle that Sneasler really well. If I was Rockwell.
So Rockwell going with this Kanga plus Floette lead as Pioneer leads Sneasler and Asculesian. A lead that we've seen both of these players use when they've been on stream.
Yeah. Interesting to see if Sneasler just goes for the Kangaskhan or if it's...
Yeah, because the Kangaskhan is able to fake out the Kangaskhan is able to fake out the Basculesian because of its scrappy ability, and so that is a play that we have to worry about. On the other hand, let's see. So yeah, fake out crit onto the Kanga.
Unfortunate.
Flinches.
Wave crash.
Wave crash
into the Kanga
as well. Now,
none of the crit.
Double crit.
Crit. Just bang bang. Right back to back.
Now let's see if we go, and we just go with the Moonblast. No Mega. Now, I do think that might have been a bit of a throw. The Mega, if you Mega Evolve there, you would have been able to pick it up. We've seen in round 1 that Rockwell was very conservative with using his Mega evolution.
Very conservative. I don't think you can play conservative anymore.
No.
I think you are in probably Mega and Moonblast the Basculesian down, like slot down.
That's probably
that's because that's the threat right now. The Sneasler's so low enough that like Talonflame could probably clean it up. Like you have priority, whatever. If you have dual wing beat, you have priority there, so you're forcing the Sneasler out. Yeah.
Into the Aerodactyl.
And then just like Mega your Floette here, yep. And probably just Moonblast into the Basculesian slot.
Yeah, I could see D-Gleam potentially trying to pick up both and chipping the Basculesian, trying to maybe trade with it. As we see the Tailwind here.
That's the good read, expecting the swap.
D-Gleam. There's a D-Gleam. Honestly, D-Gleam almost picking up the Basculesian itself with the Wave Crash.
That was the worry.
Yeah.
That was like, you can't let this Basculesian stick around. It's gonna take out your Mega, and then you're gonna be down 2 Pokemon to 4. Like I think you had to Moonblast the Basculesian. I think that's just the only line. You played like the Sneasler was switching. You almost always just Moonblast down the Basculesian.
Yeah. I will say that in the grand scheme of things, the Sneasler's pretty chipped down. The Aerodactyl took a ton of damage. Depending on the last Pokemon that we have, which is the Garchomp here, like I don't think Rockwell's out of it yet.
Not quite, but you also have Mega, like there's Mega for Pioneer still if he wants it for this either this T-Tar or just his own Garchomp in the back or his own like Meganium. Like if you take out the Talonflame here with a Fake Out and like you Fake Out here and then you just click Rock Slide, like
Yep.
Okay, it's okay. Dual Wing Beat is going to be enough. Okay.
Yes. So
let's see. The Dual Wing Beat had to be enough to pick it up there, which Which now, if this is Meganium in the back, you obviously are worried about Talonflame.
Yeah.
Not so much worried about the Garchomp, but more worried about Talonflame.
I think it's very safe if we look at Rockwell's team. I didn't pull up Rockwell's team. I can't remember if they have Q or not on their. So
Rockwell has Flare Blitz and Duel
does
Wing
have.
Beam.
Well, I was going to say on the Garchomp does have Earthquake.
The Earthquake's whatever.
I was going to say, I'm saying like Dual Wing Beat Earthquake, I think is very safe. Dual Wing Beat into the.
You Flare Blitz it. You Flare Blitz an Earthquake. You don't risk the Dual Wing Beatness.
I was thinking of keeping your HP, but yeah. The EQ here.
That's not enough. If this is a D-Gleam, we're in trouble here. Oh boy, here we go.
It lives.
So now we can try to double protect and see if Sneasler lives. If Sneasler gets a double protect off, this feels very safe still. Like Rockwell might be able to. If Rockwell needs the Sneasler to double check not to happen, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Gets the double?
Oh no! Okay. So now, if you're Rockwell, you have to figure out who's getting targeted. Because
I believe because Sneasler did close combat.
Sneasler will live a rough skin chip. So
no, what I'm saying is on. Like,
well, what I'm saying is Earthquake's not safe. Earthquake's no longer safe. Sneasler can outspeed the Garchomp, take out the Garchomp.
Tailwind.
You don't have priority anymore. So this is the line: is
It's
you either Talonflame isn't faster than Sneasler.
126.
Oh, well, that's if they're max speed though.
Yeah, I'm going to. This comes down to, is Rockwell max Jolly on the Talonflame, because Unburden hasn't procced yet, so the Tailwind.
I was about to say Sneasler's faster. Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? We saw it earlier. The Sneasler's faster.
Okay, well, Adamant.
And then White or Prox.
And now it's faster. So
no, it was guaranteed faster before. We knew it was faster before without it. And so now if this is like Weather Ball, just D-Gleam, single target D-Gleam. Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Looks like Rockwell will be able to get it.
Yeah.
Am I looking at this? No, Cerubi said. Okay, yeah. So maybe Rockwell should run more. I'd say running more.
More speed, yeah.
On the outspeed base Sneasler might be the play. There might be some calcs where you need
the attack to guarantee pickup KOs. Like that's what it is right now. Is you are trading your speed for making sure you pick up KOs with Dual Wing Beat.
Was able to get it off and get the win. I do think that maybe. Yeah, I think D-Gleam might have been the best move to click. The Talonflame was just properly positioned to clean that match up.
Yeah.
And that is the end of game 3, I believe?
It is. It is the end of round 4.
So let's see who made our...
Let's check
our final 4.
Our top cut. All right.
So...
Fresh there. Everybody's matches
do have
are
a top
in.
cut.
Before proceeding, please match social standing correct. Yep, everything's good. All right,
so
here we go.
Our top cut, I have it up. Our 1 seed is Simon at 4-0. 2 seed is Esther at 3-1. Our 3 seed is Chris at 2-2, and our 4 seed is Aaron at 2-2. Rockwell and Kami also finishing at 2-2, 5th and 6th respectively. Their resistances just weren't enough. Chris's only 2 losses being the 1 seed and the 2 seed, and Aaron had the bye and played the 3 seed and the 1 seed. The res for both were very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rockwell just not enough. Especially with Adam dropping down all the way to 9th. Around of the tournament, Sweden 7th place at 1-3, Pioneer in 8th place at 1-3, and then Adam 9th place as the drop at 1-1. We are going to. Do you want to take like a teeny break for everyone before we get in? And then we'll handle our top cuts?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay, we're going to go on a little break, everyone. So I'm going to turn my camera off, and we will be back.
So I'll hang out with y'all. I got stuff to work on still in the background. All right. I'm gonna take a short break. I'm gonna hang out and work on some other stuff in the background. Gotta do the salty run back. That's just how that works usually sometimes. I think it's a salty run back for both. Yeah. It's a salty run back for both people. Here, I can bring up the bracket here. We'll have Simon versus Aaron. We'll have Aaron and Simon, which was also last round, and then we'll have Esther and Chris running it back again. But yeah, has everybody been enjoying the stream today? I have so many windows open, I haven't been able to Well, good. I'm glad everybody's enjoying it. We're gonna continue taking a short break here. We're just gonna talk about some stuff, and we're gonna do all top 4, and we're gonna do the finals match. So we got 3 more matches left here. We're gonna start with Aaron and Simon, and then we'll do Esther and Chris when they get back from their break. Figured I'd give them probably another 5 minutes or so.
Let's us go through, and again, we can just, as we're doing this, let's first talk through the teams of our first match.
Here, give me 1 second. I'll get it pulled up for us.
Yep.
Let me finish getting everything on the back end taken care of.
Yeah. So I have Simon and Aaron's teams both pulled up.
All right, let me get team lists for everybody. Here is Simon's. We've seen this one a couple times. It's the Mega T-Tar with Garchomp, Sneasler, Sinistra, Corviknight, and Rotom Wash. Overall, this is our top performer, 4-0. I believe they went 7-2 in total games, I think.
Yeah, going through it, they had their round 1. Don't let me just pull this up. They go through. Their round 1, they were a 2-1
against Swede.
Round 2, 2-0. That's 4-1. Round 3, 3-0. That's 6-1. And then the 3-0. So yeah, they have won 2-0 against every single opponent from round 2 and on.
So they went 7-1.
Yes.
7-1.
Also, going through it, beating the 3 other players that they played against in Top Cup.
Yes.
So Simon is in a really good spot.
Very, very dominant position here. It's going to be come down to a lot of what, how they end up looking at, how it ends up looking at adapting to what Simon has shown them from their other games.
Yes. Have they figured out how to win the matchup? And has Simon do they have a few more tricks up their sleeve?
Yeah. Did they spoil the whole bag, or do we have more to look forward to from Simon here?
And yes, on Aaron's side, we really weren't able to see his team as much. He is running a lot of really interesting move sets. A lot of the Pokemon that we have seen, they're just being run in a very different manner. Going through Aaron's team, he does have 3 Protects, but there's a few Pokemon I've seen that you usually see with a Protect that don't.
Yes.
Starting off with the Tyranitar, he's running Stone Edge and Knockoff, along with Dragon Dance and Protect. The main reason why you're not seeing the Rock Slide as usual is because people are starting to run like insanely bulky Charizards to make sure that they're able to live. So Stone Edge, it can't count that, and it's also one of the most very popular, very powerful, single target rock type attacks. It can miss, but in Aaron's case, Mama didn't raise no bitch. We have competitive leftovers: Milotic, Scald, Recover, Ice Beam, and Protect. This is a self-sustaining Milotic. It's able to keep itself healthy with its Recover, and the Ice Beam and Scald are able to do a good bit of damage, especially once that competitive is procced. Aerodactyl is running Rock Slide, Dual Wing Beat, and Tailwind as usual, along with the Focus Sash, but it has Wide Guard as a 4th option, the ability to protect it from a lot of these spread type attacks, Blizzard, Dazzling Gleam, etc.
Yep.
Sinistra as well has Machagacha, Rage Powder, Trick Room, and Imprison. Imprison being a very fun tech. Sinistra is the most common Pokemon in this tournament, tied with Tyranitar. So being able to go and tell the opponent, no, you literally cannot use one of your 5 Pokemon. I can, but you can't, is pretty fun.
Yes.
And then we have coaching on the Sneasler, so you're able to really boost up the Aerodactyl and Tyranitar damage-wise, along with the Aggron. All these Pokemon like the offense and defense boosts. Aggron, of course, being able to take advantage of both the offense and defense, running the Body Press and Heavy Slam. So getting a +1/+2 is going to help Aggron into other Sinistras, while with its Heavy Slam. While the Body Press, of course, is going to be able to pick up a lot of these Pokemon that are relatively weak to the to fighting type attacks. Like, looking at the matchup, Body Press kind of matches up decently into Simon's team. Just getting those boosts, I will say that really one of the main ways he's going to be able to take out the Aggron is using something like trying to use the super effective attacks of Garchomp and Sneasler, or honestly just fishing for status attack, like the status on the Machagacha.
Yeah, I see Aaron maybe trying to go for a slower game with maybe trying to get Aggron set up. Either like 1 or 2 curses and or coachings means that it's going to be really hard to break through this Aggron once it's the Mega. This is a rematch from round 4. We didn't get to see any of this matchup, so it'll be interesting to see how much Aaron can adapt from games 1 and 2 into going into what is effectively games 3 and 4.
At a minimum, yes. And while it's not our match yet, we do have, I believe, from round 4. Again, it was another, both these matchups are just mirror matches from round 4. Chris and Esther are going to be essentially going into games 3 and 4 of their matchup. So I'm curious to see how that ends up going, what adjustments happen there. I know Chris's Sinistra has been on strike for this tournament.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how that is going to go. One moment.
I have a lot of Aaron fans in the chat right now.
Yeah.
Say we'll get them moved over here.
Yeah.
That'll be fine. We'll get them moved to court 2 here. Court 1, I think Esther's on the court 1 screen, but I don't want to kick Esther off court 1 yet.
That's fine.
So we'll just move them to court 2 and
yeah, I think Aaron's. Oh, and Esther just left.
well, not Esther. That's that's Simon.
Oh, that was Simon. Okay.
You can see. I'll have to teach you what all this means. There we go.
There we go.
Good luck. Have fun to our competitors. Let's get it. First match of top 4. So we didn't get to see any of their matchup last round, but I would imagine this Aggron lines up really well into a lot of what Simon wants to do here, but it's just getting it in that position is the tricky part.
Yeah. No, I'm curious to see how this all goes. Like, Mega Aggron has been, as a flow-up player, Mega Aggron has been a pain in my side. So I'm curious to just I'm going to enjoy watching someone else have to deal with it. And so we see the Garchomp Sneasler League, which is the oh my god, I hate you Aggron League.
Yes, I hate you Aggron.
Sinistra and Sneasler come out for Aaron. Now, these are 2 Pokemon on Aaron's side that do not have Protects.
Ooh. One of the things we can note here, since we do have spectator mode, Simon's Sneasler is very bulky compared to the average Sneasler.
Yes.
Which we saw that in, I think, round 2. I think we saw that, where that Sneasler lived the Earthquake from Garchomp. We saw that. We got to see evidence of that, so It'll be interesting to see if Aaron picks up on that maybe from games 1 and 2 earlier, that the opponent Sneasler is maybe bulkier than they were expecting it to be.
Yeah, just going through, if we throw open the calculator, which I had open and lost, and we have it? I have it. There we go.
Okay, so we swapped Sneasler out, bring Aggron in. Opposing Sneasler swaps out, bring Sinistcha in. Earthquake goes off. Aggron takes a chunk.
Yeah, this was something that we were apparently noted. Aaron was very, very laissez-faire about the way he would send his Aggron out. Especially, and right now he is paying for it.
Yeah.
Not protecting the Pokemon that he probably brought as his Mega. Now, he does not have the ability to use Life Dew. There really is no recovery on this team. So, outside of switching the Hospitality in and out, the Aggron, like, that is where its HP is going to stay at for the rest of this game. Unless you get that Sinistcha filtered in and out.
Looks like
Aggron
we're
uses a protect.
Are we going
No
to
switches.
imprison? Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Okay, Sinistcha.
Now, by using Imprison, that means that the only move Simon Sinistcha is able to use is Protect. So
Okay.
that definitely does help.
Aggron without the Mega is still no slouch. Body Press will still do significant damage into this Garchomp if that's the line we want to go. Same with Heavy Slam into the Sinistcha.
I think the real issue you run into now is the fact that if you target to the Garchomp, the Rough Skin ship is probably going to take you out or come very, very close.
It'll be close. It won't be enough, but it'll be close.
What is it, 1/16?
Yes. Which 1/16 to 168 is 16.
Yeah.
So
Sinistcha uses Machagacha, missing the Garchomp. That is very...
that is unfortunate.
Yes. Because that was the Pokemon you really wanted
That's
to
the one
hit.
you wanted to hit, yes. But we do have our Trick Room up. Life Dew from the Sinistcha will go off here. Healing
Yes.
the Sinistcha, and Garchomp's just going to keep clicking Earthquake. So now we're in a situation where the opposing Sinistcha and Garchomp are both threatened by the Ice Beam from Milotic. I could... And you can't click Machagacha in the Milotic. You can't kill this Milotic with the Sinistcha like you want to.
Yes.
So now it's a situation of, do you swap out Garchomp to protect it from an Ice Beam? Do you... Yep, say swap
We're
Garchomp.
going to see that. And who's coming in? It's going to be Tyranitar. Now, Tyranitar, depending on how Aaron called this, like, it is going to get special...
Sinistcha
defense
avoided, but should get... If this
decent damage onto the
burns...
Tyranitar.
I don't think there's a burn. No burn.
No burn.
Life Dew
Sinistcha uses
heals
Life Dew.
heals it back up. Scald. Ice Beam. Ice Beam's fine. Freeze. No. Just gotta ask for all the status here. I think if you're on Navia's side, I think it's just status is important. That's how you're probably going to win this game. I would imagine this is potentially a protect from the Tyranitar, but you could also look for a knockoff into Sinistcha. Depending on the speeds of this Tyranitar and of this Milotic under Trick Room, it'll be interesting to see who moves first. Yeah.
So the Tyranitar does protect, probably going... So we see a Machagacha here into the protect. And do we get the hit on Sneasler? Yes, we
do this time.
And
Ice
no
Beam.
burn?
Ice Beam into the Sneasler slot. no freezes. No burns, no freezes.
And now with this, Fake Out is live for Simon. Being able to fake out and potentially Dragon Dance.
Yes.
As the
You
Twisted Dimensions
could
return.
fake out if you Dragon Dance, you probably let Aaron just set up a free Trick Room again, and you don't want that.
So you have to see what this knockoff does. Honestly, the other option.
There's no
you can
item
sneak is just
either.
a double in.
Okay, so we just swap. Okay, so there's no item on the Sinistra, so the knockoff wasn't going to be boosted. But we do get to see the Mega. Here comes Close Combat into the Milo. Taking it out.
Taking it out. Wow.
Crit. That
Crit,
might have
yep.
mattered.
I think it did.
That might have mattered. It depends on the Milo sets, but that usually you live that Close Combat.
Now you see the knockoff into the Aggron, taking it out, and Aaron is down to his last two Pokemon. The Sneasler and the
Sinistra.
Sinistra.
Which, if he's smart, will remember to put Sneasler out first and then Sinistra. It's not a big deal, like, most of the time, but in this situation, it's like, in this situation, it doesn't matter, but if normal situations...
In the others... Yep.
Hospitality, you want the hospitality boost.
Yes.
Alright, so we've got Sneasler's Unburdens triggered on Simon's side. And you're not going to do big damage into Aaron Sneasler with, like, Dire Claw and whatnot. Because it's double resisted. Close Combat also resisted. So I feel like you just... Yeah, I'm about to say, you just gotta swap this Tyranitar out.
And go into the Sinistra.
Hope it was like Close Combat, I think.
And also heal up your Sinistra.
Your
your Sneasler.
Yep, there's the Dire Claw. Put the Sinistra...
And we get to sleep.
So...
That feels like...
Good, okay read by Aaron here. Close combating into the opposing Sneasler to be able to get their Unburden. Sinistra gets its first turn of sleep here. Notably, sleep turns, sleep's got changed as well.
Yeah, so Aaron has a 1/3 chance of waking up this turn, and if the Sinistra stays asleep but doesn't faint, it will wake up the following turn.
Correct.
So I think one of the other things here that Aaron might want to take advantage of is the fact that his Sneasler is probably faster than Simon's. Simon
yes.
is running max HP, but the Rage Powder definitely helps with keeping it safe.
Correct.
Sneasler's Close Combat goes into the Sinistra, not playing for the Rage Powder as Dire Claw.
Wake up. Trick Room goes up. That is not what you wanted to be seeing. Probably.
No.
If you were Navier.
Yeah. Your Sneasler is faster, unless you think that you can now go with a Machagacha.
You can Machagachi heal up and maybe take out the opposing Sneasler. That's gonna it's gonna be close.
Machagacha, but then you have to take a Machagacha of your own, and you're risking the burn on the Sneasler. Using Machagacha
that's the risk.
Would have probably been better.
We bring out Garchomp here.
Garchomp.
Machagacha. Heals up the Garchomp. It heals up the Garchomp there a little bit. Got the burn on the Garchomp. That's actually critical. I feel like. Dire Claw lives goes back to sleep. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Sneasler down.
If there wasn't the sleep on the
Sinistra, yeah.
Yeah.
That said, Garchomp being burnt is important.
Yeah, so the Garchomp is Choice Scarf as well. So
Aaron just packs it up. He thinks
Yeah.
he's in a bad spot, which he kind of is.
yeah, I think that the big thing there is the Sinistra's always going down to the sand, and so you're able to just target down the Sneasler spot.
Mm-hmm.
And even with the Choice Scarf on the Garchomp, Garchomp is still slower than the Sneasler in Trick Room. So now, it just wasn't a good spot. I really do think going for the Trick Room there ended up being a mistake. If you went for that Matcha Gotcha
I agree.
on
If
that first turn, you probably would have been... I don't know if you're in the clear,
but you're in a much more advantageous position because your Sneasler is now moving first instead of moving last.
Yeah.
You would have healed the same, and you would have been able to hit everything up going up next time.
Yeah. I think the big thing for Aaron for this upcoming game, keep your Aggron safe. Don't let it switch in and lose pretty much all of its HP.
There's a lot of thing.
Yeah, there are, especially before it Mega Evolves, you have the Garchomp, the Sneasler, and the Rotom Wash are able to hit at super effective, if not quad effective.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to make sure that you're keeping it safe. I don't even hate leading with it and just using the Mega Evolution. Because you're dropping the ×4 weaknesses into ×2, and with your filter, you're able to go and keep a lot more of your HP.
Yes, agreed.
So let's see what the adjustments are. As Garchomp and Sneasler come back in as the lead.
Milotic and
Sneasler.
So this is a line to threaten the Garchomp, which threatens the Aggron. And we learned from earlier that, again, Aaron's Sneasler is faster than Simon's. So this could be like a Dire Claw into Sneasler, Ice Beam into Garchomp line. Playing very, very safe here instead with a Protect on the Milotic and a Fake Out into Garchomp. Yeah, this feels very safe.
I do think Aaron did lose an opportunity. Because we know that the Garchomp is Scarf. I feel like Fake Out. You might lose the Sneasler, and maybe that's just a trade you're willing to make. But Fake Out into Aaron Sneasler into Simon Sneasler and just using Ice Beam, if that would be worth the trade. But here we see the switch into Sinistra.
This is good from Aaron here. Gonna lock into the EQ, and this is why we see the bulkier Sneasler on Simon's side, so he can still click Earthquake next to his Sneasler and not take it out. And Milo still lives on 40. Is this a Scald into Sneasler? Expecting a swap? Nope, Scald into Garchomp.
Expecting the swap.
Expecting the swap.
Yeah.
So Garchomp is locked into Earthquake. The Sneasler can't hit the Sinistra super duper hard outside of a Dire Claw. So this could be a free turn to try to set up Trick Room. You just protect your Milotic and set up Trick Room here.
Yeah, Tyranitar comes out.
Yep.
Milotic protects.
Protect Milotic. Dire Claw into the Sinistra. No status.
What? You deal with a crit? Citrus Berry goes off. I believe if the Citrus Berry's going off, that means
yeah, if the Citrus Berry's going off, there's no status.
Yeah.
Trick Room goes up.
And
okay.
the Trick Room is up.
So now, if you are Aaron, you probably want to try and click Recover on this Milotic.
Yeah, I think your play here is Recover and Matcha Gotcha.
Yes. You could also just try to put as much damage on this Tyranitar as possible, just going for the Scald. Scald, Matcha Gotcha takes out the Sneasler and puts some chip on the T-Tar, maybe fishing for a burn. The Sneasler's not living this turn. The Sneasler's going down, for sure. We just don't know exactly how it's going to happen outside of a potential swap. Like, you could swap the Sneasler out but I don't know what you'd swap it into that you'd rather take a Scald or Matcha Gacha with.
Well, we're about to find out as...
The opposing
Oh,
Sinistcha.
that would be the Pokemon.
Here comes Mega
Tyranitar.
Tyranitar. Aaron has migrated this match very well. Mega Aggron could come in here if the Milotic goes down and just kind of just go nuts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Critical hit on the opposing Sinistcha. Burnt the Sinistcha too. Okay, so now we're in a situation of it's not going to stick around as long. Oh, we read the switch. Ooh, that's good. That was really good.
Yeah, the Sinistcha's now had its berry proc. It's taking a lot of damage. As knockoff goes into Aaron's Sinistcha, taking it out. But as we said, the Aggron's able to come in here.
Like, Aggron gets to come in for free now, yeah.
Yeah.
Aggron comes in for free. You get to threaten Body Press and or Heavy Slam into either of these Pokemon. I know Simon was very, like, focused on making sure that Imprison from Aaron doesn't come out, but I feel really good if you're Aaron in this situation right now.
Yeah. I believe protecting the Milotic, because we don't know how the speeds are. We don't know how much...
We can assume Aggron's going first.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's more so, just in my experience, the Heavy Slam might not pick up the Sinistcha depending on how the Aggron is trained. So, maybe protecting your Milotic.
I think you protect Milotic regardless, so because you don't want to lose it to like a random Rock Slide or something.
Yeah.
But I think you Heavy Slam into the Sinistcha slot. For sure. You could also protect and curse this turn.
I wouldn't hate that as well. I actually think that could be a really strong play. The curse would definitely let you pick up the Sinistcha between the Sand Chip and the Burn Chip the following turn. So Sinistcha goes for a Rage Powder as Aaron doesn't fall for it, clicking Heavy Slam.
So that'll take it out.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Sinistcha uses... Yes. Now, that does hurt where you could have went for the recover there.
Yeah, I like going for the recover instead of the Ice Beam, but...
Yeah, because now you're using Milotic.
It did 8 damage.
The Sinistcha being down, though, really does help Aaron. Just going through the Pokemon we see.
The Sneasler can't survive sand. Like
the Sneasler can't survive
Simon
sand.
Sneasler's so low.
Now this is just a double protect for me if I'm Aaron. Unless you want to get like really, really greedy and body press the Tyranitar, but I'm not going to let my Aggron take more damage, and nor should you let your Sneasler take damage.
Yeah, I would like double protect here. Well, Aaron can't protect, right? His doesn't have protect.
No, he can't protect this. He can't double protect. He can protect on the.
You can protect and coaching.
That would be a play.
You want to see a big aggro, and this is how you find it: is protect plus coaching. You also could just go for fake out into their T-Tar, and you could go like, yeah, there's fake out, and then you fake out their T-Tar, and it's a big nothing burger.
Yep.
We did not go for
Aaron
it.
Doesn't do.
Oh, we went for. I think we went for the KO on T-Tar. Oh no, we did go for the coaching. Okay, so we are big boy aggro gaming here, folks. What's funny is, Aaron lost his white herb due to the knockoff. So now, when this Sneasler goes down here, if T-Tar gets taken out here. Oh no, there's this last turn of sand, so you have to take out the opposing Sneasler here.
Yeah.
It won't go down to Sand Chip. You have to take out the Sneasler. This also works. I think this also is fine. This is also a very fine play. Just bulk up. Yeah. Oh, the 1 HP. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine.
Yeah, now we're going to see the 1v3 potentially.
The 1v3 reverse sweep. There we go.
Well, it's about to be a 1v2 because
Nope, sand
Simon's
chip.
going to. Oh, it's.
I just said that. Yep, the sand chip's done.
Yeah.
So now you just play the. Simon has to play the where's aggro and attacking game.
Yes, I will say this in the grand scheme of things. Maybe the curse was a little too greedy there.
I don't think so, because this is gonna do almost nothing. Yeah, like you take out Sneasler this turn.
If you get an attack on.
Yeah. Oh no.
That's what I'm saying. Because
we're gonna get flinched to death now. The curse versus taking out the Sneasler there wouldn't change a whole lot because you still are fighting the flinches.
Well, no, because if you took the Sneasler out,
it's just Garchomp clicking Earthquake instead.
Yeah.
This was a situation of he didn't need to, if he didn't get flinched this past turn, he'd have been in a better spot. Body Press takes out the Sneasler. What does Garchomp have that's single target? Does he have Stomping Tantrum?
It has Stomping.
Okay. So if you're Garchomp, you don't want to click EQ here. You don't want to be locked into EQ because you can take out your own Tyranitar. And you're not guaranteed...
You're always clicking Stomping.
I think you always click Stomping here. So... do you take out the Garchomp this turn? Probably with a Body Press.
I think you have to.
Need a Rock Slide miss, I think, if you're Aaron here. Maybe.
Yeah, you go... Let's see how much damage you're going to get on your ship. Body Press comes out.
Takes out the Garchomp.
Takes out Garchomp.
It's going to be close.
Oh, it's going to be close.
It's going to be real close. Rock Slide is the most damage. Is Rock Slide the most damage? I think Knockoff's the most damage.
It's Knockoff. Yeah, it's not Knockoff. I actually think Knockoff probably gets it here.
+2 defense. It's gonna come down to this, whatever it is, because Rock Slide was doing maybe 8-9 damage total.
Yeah, I think Knockoff. It's going to be Knockoff.
Yep, just enough.
Yep, Knockoff gets it. And congratulations to Simon, who is our first finalist. You're going to let the other two know.
Yep, that's what we're doing.
Okay.
Getting them figured out. Very, very good set. Very, very good set.
Yeah. We're able to see a bit of what the Aggron was able to do in Game 2. It sadly just was not enough.
Yeah, the flinches, that flinch was 100% the reason, and not really the curse.
Yeah.
Curse would have... only thing Curse would have done is it would have changed who was attacking instead of who was attacking the aggro in that turn instead of actually make or breaking winning the game.
Yeah.
And we're just going to jump right into our second top 4 match here between Chris and Esther.
Yeah, they are already ready to go. They went on their little walks. And now
got some walkies, got some drinks.
Yeah. Now this is a matchup that we walked through. I think in Game 2 it was a lot closer than Game 1. If like these two players have had some time to figure out what their plays are supposed to be, who you need to bring, along with just that order of operations.
Yeah, this should be very, very quick here.
Yeah. So Chris and Esther starting off. Let's look at our leads. We see Esther go with Rotom and Milotic, while Chris leads with Aerodactyl and Sneasler. Now the Aerodactyl is able to threaten that Rotom slot with the fake out support by going fake out Rock Slide. So Rotom might be already on the back foot. Depends on, will Esther potentially let it go down, which she just does not.
Just swaps it out for Garchomp. It's like, you're gonna hit me with a rock type attack, we're gonna go to the mon that resists rock. Yep, that's how it works.
Chris does call by fake out Tailwind.
Yep. And this probably will put back to full. Pretty close? Pretty close, yeah. So now, if you are in Esther's shoes, Garchomp can put a little bit of pressure on the Sneasler, and Milo can put pressure on the Aerodactyl. It's just going to come down to, yep, swapping out into the Palafin. Feels like the safe call there. Just expecting a Scald. Yep, protect the Sneasler, expect the Scald. Dragon Claw. Probably was expecting the Sneasler to swap and was going to just double that slot.
So Palafin in for free with the Tailwind up is pretty big. Now I think the question is, what is the next move? Now Palafin does not have Flip Turn, it's Jet Punch,
Wave Crash, Close Combat.
Does a Close Combat Wave Crash pick up Garchomp?
Maybe. I think we're just doing this to get Hero Form. Yeah, we're just using this to get Hero Form out.
As Frostlass is now in, Milotic switches out.
Sinistcha comes in. And Garchomp just protects.
Oh, so we now know the 4 Pokemon that our players brought.
Yep, everybody's seen everything.
Yes. One of the things to note here is that Esther has left her Mega Tyranitar at home.
Yes.
The Frostlass right now is in a killer position. Both the Sinistcha and the Garchomp are immediately threatened by Blizzard, which means that, yes, you do have the 2 Blizzard resists in the back you could switch in, but those Pokemon will still be taking free damage. I think Chris has positioned the board perfectly.
Yeah.
Where we see the Garchomp go into Milotic.
Sinistcha comes out.
Yeah, we see this double switch here.
So here's the other situation. We've spent our entire Tailwind turns getting set up into a position, and now our Tailwind's gone in front of the Scarf Rotom.
Well, it depends. If Chris does click the Close Combat here, he will, which he does not. He clicks Dire Claw. And is almost able to take the Rotom out. Now, if that was a Close Combat into that slot, the Rotom
it takes out the Rotom.
Yep. It also, or even if he clicked Close Combat into the Milotic spot to get the proc on, or what the White Herb Unburden, that would have made Sneasler the fastest.
Yes.
But right now, this Rotom is the fastest Pokemon on the field. It can threaten.
There's the Protect. If I was Esther, I would just double this Sneasler. We just went for the overheat. And that's going to take Rotom out. We've lost our big speed control, which is problematic, I think.
Yeah.
If this is a burn, it's not as bad. Yeah. Got the burn. I'm good at speaking these into existence, man. I'm real good.
Yeah. Chris is just been... We've seen this... I think we've seen his Sneasler burnt more today than not.
Yeah.
Now, Garchomp is out here. The Garchomp is still threatened big time. We do want to note that Icy Wind is on Milotic, and that probably is a good play here.
So that is probably the line here, is you click Protect on Garchomp and Icy Wind to lower the Mega Frostlass's speed enough to where you might be able to click like a Rock Slide or something.
Which we see a Close Combat here. Still doing a good bit of damage through the burn. And then Shadow Ball.
Hoping to take it out before this Icy Wind can go off. Yep, there's the Icy Wind.
Now, it is good to note that there isn't any Rock-type coverage on Esther's Garchomp. She is running Dragon Claw, Earthquake, and Poison Jab. So you can't threaten the Rock Slide. I still think even with the speed drop, Chris's Frostlass is in a safe spot. I think a close combat Blizzard is going to be enough to just get rid of this Milotic, which we see the close combat go off here, bringing it down to 17 HP.
Dragonclaw into the Frostlass. Blizzard should clean
Blizzard
up here. Yeah.
And yeah, the single target Blizzard will clean up on the Sinistra. There is Shadow Ball on the Sinistra of Esther, so like, if you really want to work it through, we currently see, let's see here. Yeah, the battle sends in a forfeit.
Moving into game 2 very quickly here. It understands that the game is pretty much over. We will just move into game 2. Oh, I gotta go back to the room again. It looks like it times out every so often, so we'll have to keep a track on later.
Yeah.
We'll just swap over here. Say we got dropped. That's fine. So we can just come right back.
And see where they're at. Hopefully we didn't mix too much.
Yeah, they're still picking. I say they have to. It's the same kind of situation. So it feels like Esther played a little too passively that first game, and so we might see her do a little more aggressive battling this time around.
Yeah, her not bringing the Mega Tyranitar and just giving Chris full control of the weather didn't feel great. And we see right here a lead with the Garchomp and the Rotom, while Chris sticks with this.
So now here's the question:
Aerodactyl.
Do we expect Earthquake out of the Garchomp and just click Fake Out into it, or do we expect Rotom to actually click a damaging move this time? And maybe just get a free Volt Switch off into maybe the Sneasler or the Aerodactyl here. Yeah, there it is.
Yep, so it does get the Volt Switch off.
No passive switches this time, getting much better value out of this Rotom switch this time around.
And we're probably seeing it go into the Milotic again. So Milotic is in, and what is Chris's move?
Tailwind.
It's just going to be the Tailwind.
You set Tailwind pretty much every time.
Yeah. Now, one of the things to note is that the close combat did a serious amount of damage into the Milotic when you had, when it wasn't burned. Is there a world where you just get very aggressive and double that down and let your Frostlass in the back potentially
just clean up? It depends on if T-Tar is siding in the back this time or not.
Yeah, losing. Yeah, you don't want to lose. Well, depending on Chris's mons, he does have some answers into the Tyranitar, mainly that Alaphin, Pokemon he's been using a lot in this new regulation. The Protected Milotic will also punish the potential double-in.
That's what we see. We see this time.
He went for the Garchomp. He was trying to double the Garchomp. And honestly, that dual Wing Beat would have picked it up.
Yeah, dual Wing Beat would have picked it up there. That was as aggressive line, correctly reading the Protect on the Milotic. Now let's just see, does the Earthquake punish the Sneasler to the point where it's just gone? Yeah. I feel okay trading my Garchomp for a Sneasler in this situation. Yeah. Especially if I have like Tyranitar sitting in the back right now. I feel very comfortable if I'm Esther now. So this feels like a free Icy Wind for Milotic here. I don't see a ton of issues doing that. I think Icy Wind and just let Garchomp go down.
Yeah. I think one of the big things as well that changes this game to last game is that the Rotom is pretty healthy. The snow warning is here.
Dual wing beat into the Milotic. Should be a blizzard coming out here from the
Yep.
Frostlass.
Frostlass.
Probably hoping for maybe a freeze.
Yeah,
if you're
now
Chris.
Now, the freeze will matter if Esther did not click Scald.
Icy Wind.
But
Yep.
there is no freeze, and we see the Icy Wind, which is enough to pick up the Aerodactyl. Now, this also means that if Palafin is in the back, we are playing with Baby Finn.
Maybe Palafin. Maybe. We haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen it yet. Quite. We can't confirm.
We're about to.
We're
find
assuming
out
it is because of this is like the fourth time these two have played. So we're assuming nothing really is changing outside of choices. Yep. There's Palafin. So now we're stuck with Baby Finn.
Yes.
We
Now,
knew
this is again.
We knew Hero Jet Punch took out Rotom. I don't think Zero Jet Punch takes out Rotom.
I don't think so either. And the other big thing is. Oh, let's find out. The Jet Punch goes in. Does actually a pretty.
It was a
damn
good
amount of
chunk. It was a very good chunk. And we just doubled the Rotom
And-
slot. That's fine.
Yep.
If this is another Icy Wind, T-Tar is probably
No, it's a light dude.
expecting maybe the Blizzard instead of the
Shadow Ball.
Shadow Ball. But if we have T-Tar in the back here, I feel very comfortable if I'm Esther still. It is T-Tar. Okay.
Now, one thing I will have to note that, again, is a tech specifically to help against T-Tar and the Steels. Chris does have close combat on his
Yes.
Palafin. How much does Baby Finn close combat do into Tyranitar? Folks, we're going to probably find out.
I
pretty
would
soon.
not be surprised to see a Protect on T-Tar this turn and another Icy Wind.
I wouldn't be surprised by that either. The Palafin is probably faster than the Tyranitar, even outside of its hero form. And we have to. And at this point,
You would
the
rather
Tyranitar
move
feels
first.
Like a win.
Yeah.
Yep.
This also could just be a fast Tyranitar when it Megas, and we just don't know. But
Yeah, absolutely.
here's the Mega. Protect on the
Palafin
Palafin
protects.
this time. Just
Probably
double protect.
calling-
Just double
oh,
protect.
Double protect. Okay.
Trying to maybe stall out as many sand turns as possible.
And also calling out the Tyranitar protect. Now,
Yep.
the Tyranitar is very, very threatened next turn.
Yeah, you are, like I said, you're playing around that Icy Wind. You don't want to get your speed dropped any more than you already have. The downside is you're taking extra chip, and so that's where it gets a little dicey. You don't want to take too much chip because T-Tar's still going to hit pretty hard.
Yeah. It also goes and shows with the order of protects that the Palafin is the fastest Pokemon on the field, which is why the Icy Wind was going to be so important to try to get that off. Now, there is a world where you have to worry about... No, she doesn't have the Dragon Dance. She's low kick.
Low kick, yeah. Low kick's the other
Yeah,
one.
there's so many Tyranitars.
Yeah, you got so many random coverage sets at this point. It's
I've seen this Pokemon so much today. I think I've seen more Tyranitar Milotic today than I have in the last year plus.
Here's the close combat. T-Tar
It
takes
brings up
it.
to 35.
Shadow Ball into the Milotic. Okay, so this is bad if we get the special defense drop. We don't want that. Icy Wind goes off. If this is a Rock Slide and it connects.
Yes, it is.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
That is
that
so
was the
much.
worry. If you don't take out the T-Tar, it's gonna probably take you out.
Yeah. Maybe I think.
How many turns of sand are left?
I believe 2 more.
3 more. Okay, so yeah, so
3
this is
more.
just a double protect for T-Tar. You just protect with T-Tar, and click Scald with Milotic, then this game's over. This is pretty
I
much
think the
locked
big-
up.
I think the big thing for Chris there is potential fear of the Blizzard miss.
Yeah, you have to play around the Blizzard. Like you can't just click Blizzard.
Yeah.
So like your best play is to Shadow Ball the Milotic, unfortunately. But it just means that you're not guaranteed to take out the Tyranitar with the close combat, which you now know. You're not guaranteed to take out the Mega T-Tar.
And for all we know, the calc was made and it was just a low roll, and the play could be made with like a different roll. You might be able to get it, but with 33 HP left or so, I want to say that
you're not. I think at 33, that's too big of a difference. I think there.
It is.
For that to be the range. Going into game 3, right?
Yeah, game 3. Winner
4.
of this game is going to be playing against Simon.
Yes. Winner of this game is playing Simon.
And they locked in very quickly.
Yeah,
they know exactly what they are doing right now.
Yeah, I feel like it's a situation of they both know what they want. They know what they're going for. I wouldn't expect changes really much, a ton in leads. Yeah, it's the same leads pretty much across the board.
Same leads. There could be different decision processes. Now, there was a few things that hurt Chris last game. Maybe we don't see the Garchomp go down.
We don't see the dual wing beat miss.
Go down if the dual wing beat miss doesn't occur. But that is the game we play.
Oh, no Tailwind this time.
No Tailwind.
No, or if they are Tailwind, then no Fake Out. No Fake Out this time.
Yeah.
That's play with fire, I feel like. If you just doubled into the Garchomp slot, maybe. Went for the Rock Slide.
We are seeing that.
Went for the Rock Slide. I think if you're going to double Garchomp, you would have dual wing beated.
And you don't pick up.
EQ here feels sketchy.
Yeah, I don't think
but
you're making the Earthquake.
we went for it. We went for it. Yep. You just click the Earthquake button. Because here's the thing. Like, yeah, you're trading HP on your Milotic for the Sneasler, but you have a full HP Rotom in the back. Arrow did not set Tailwind. So now it's a situation of the Arrow can set Tailwind, but Frostlass you either have to switch here to get your Palafin in so you get your hero form for the Rotom, or you let Milotic just Icy Wind your team down and you're stuck with Baby Palafin.
Say, does Dual Wing Beat plus Blizzard, is there a shot it's enough?
Not into Milotic, I don't think.
I don't think so either. And also with the Tyranitar coming out, the sand is there.
Protect here, yep. Protect on Milotic, yep. Playing around that dual wing beat, sets up the Tailwind. Sand chip happens.
Now, one of the things that is tough is that with the order of operations on the Megas is that if they both Mega, Sand just want to stay up.
Yes.
Right now, like, they have to figure that out. I also think that Chris needs to find a way to get the Palafin in.
Yeah, here's the situation to get the Palafin in right now.
Yep.
The only downside is if Aerodactyl didn't protect here. If Aerodactyl didn't protect here, Chris is in trouble because Palafin again will be locked into Babyfin. Went for the Rock Slide, hoping for a flinch. Hoping for a flinch at this point. Nope, no flinches. Okay, so we are stuck with Babyfin, and it's at half HP.
Maybe he's just okay with that.
He might be okay.
Because like let's just see. You're going here. Well, let's see. The T-Tar lived with 33 HP on the.
It was 35. It was 35. Yeah, 35.
And it's taken 30. So Close Combat Blizzard does take out the Tyranitar. You can honestly...
I would not be surprised to see a protect T-Tar swap Milo in, protect Garchomp, let Milo Garchomp go down, and then bring in Rotom and T-Tar to finish the game.
Well, there's the protect on the...
Oh, just double protect also does it, because your goal is just to stall out the Tailwind turns. Yeah. And then this would be you let Garchomp Milo go down, swap T-Tar out into Milo. Just let them both go down, and then you get free switches for both Rotom and T-Tar in. Because we know Jet Punch isn't taking out the Rotom. We know Rotom is faster than Frostlass without Tailwind up, which is the last turn of Tailwind.
Yeah, getting the Rotom in cleanly is exactly what you need to do. But we do see the switch out here into Milotic.
Like, this is the line. Blizzard comes out, takes out the Garchomp. This is probably either like a Wave Crash or a Close Combat. If this is a Close Combat, this is kind of suck. Got the freeze on the Milotic. That's kind of neat. Close Combat on the Milotic. Unfortunate. If it was Wave Crash, you kind of force a weird scenario where only one of them gets to come in instead of getting both in at the same time. But with both coming in at the same time, locking into Electro Web and rocks and just clicking Rock Slide feels super safe here.
Really strong.
Because now the Pylofin's -1, Rock Slide's going to do massive damage to it and Frostlass. Rotom threatens the Palafin to be slower than the T-Tar. Heck, you could also you don't even have to click E-Web here. Like, you can just click Volt Switch into the slot for the Palafin and maybe click Rock Slide.
Yeah, because we do know that the Rock Slide is going to pick up the
like if you don't care about the speed anymore, you probably just click Volt Switch and Rock Slide. If you're Esther. Yeah, you just let him double protect here if you're Chris, because you want to see what the Rotom's locking into. Yep, there's Thunderbolt.
That's a Thunderbolt.
Yep. So the speed doesn't matter at this point. Like Frostlass has to click Shadow Ball or Blizzard. Jet Punch isn't picking up the Rotom. Rotom's moving first. Yeah, the play for Chris here, I think, is you double protect the Palafin and Shadow Ball the Rotom.
Yeah.
You double protect Palafin, Shadow Ball the Rotom, hope Rock Slide misses.
But we see the Jet Punch. Not enough.
Rotom's gonna...
Rotom's about to go
Thunderbolt
out with his Thunderbolt.
Yep. And now if you're T-Tar, you just get to click Knock Off instead of Rock Slide. Blizzard misses on the Rotom and the T-Tar. And Rock Slide connects further.
Takes it out. And that is game.
GG's. Such a great set from these two. Such a good set.
Yeah, this was a really good one, and now we're going to see who the best Tyranitar player is today. Will it be Simon, who has been on a roll all day, or will Esther get the comeback? Okay, so we're just going to... Do you want to go straight into the finals, or...
Whenever they're ready. Because Simon's not here. Simon's not in the room.
Okay, so this has been
fun. This has been
Yeah.
it's been what we've been streaming for, going on 4 hours,
it's been 3.5.
3.5, going on, getting ready to be 4. Should be our
Yeah,
last
it'll be-
game.
Yeah, it's been honestly, this has been also just a very well like
This has been
the only
fun.
issues we've had.
I must say, I've had no real judge calls other than I had to move someone off of a court. But yeah,
and that was just more so them not knowing that
it's a new
they
system.
have to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a visitor.
I don't know if I don't have the YouTube open. Let me throw it open on my phone. I have 11 watching.
Hi, Faith.
Okay.
You want to say hi to the world? No, I am almost done. Got about 30.
Oh, I see the visitor now. Wait.
Okay.
Wait. I'm waiting for her now that she's on the screen. Hi. And yeah, I'm seeing we have 11 people on YouTube. Thank you everyone for watching. This has been pretty awesome.
I haven't even
Yeah,
checked that
very
side. I just have the chat popped out. I haven't been really paying attention to anything on other than the chat.
Actually, it's 13 now. Now it's 12 because I just turned my phone off.
Looks like we are ready to go.
Yeah,
All right,
please.
so we saw this matchup really early on. Round 2. It was a clean 2-0 for Simon last time. And it looks like we've got Rotom Heat and Sinistra versus Corviknight and Rotom Wash on the leads here.
Okay, let's see how they go. So it's another game of everyone's threatening everyone.
Yeah, everyone threatens everyone here. Corviknight's gonna
Yep.
take a chunk. Volt switch for Esther, getting some value for this pivot here.
Yeah, I think she really learned from that game 1 loss, just having, taking advantage of that Volt Switch, a very fast Volt Switch as a way to get in position instead of, using the hard swap. Garchomp comes in now.
Reads
probably take a Hydro
Reads
Pump.
maybe the Garchomp Pump coming. Yeah, Garchomp coming in here. Eats that Hydro Pump. Matcha
And the Sinistra is able to get a Matcha Gotcha off, doing a lot of damage into the Rotom, and potentially rolling the burn on Corviknight. Let's find out. No burn.
Brave Bird. Lives the Brave Bird. Okay.
And bringing Corviknight down to 7 HP. So Simon got really aggressive and lost a lot of his HP this turn.
Yes.
Now, Esther's Garchomp has the options of, for single target, Dragon Claw and Poison Jab. I think the Dragon Claw, I think the Dragon Claw into Rotom right here is pretty safe.
Dragon Claw,
really
there's
no
nothing. Yeah,
switching.
there's no pivot for Dragon Claw except for
And
Corviknight, which is on the
Matcha-Gotcha.
field.
Yeah,
And
the
we
Matcha
saw-
Gotcha should do the 7 damage.
We saw Sinistra move before the Corviknight, so Matcha Gotcha feels also free here. So it's just
as
like,
long as it hits.
yeah, as long as it connects. There's the protect from the
does
Rotom.
protect.
Dragon Claw into the Rotom. Yep. The Matcha Gotcha. Rotom protect. Connect. Connects to the Corviknight. Cleans up the Corviknight. Gives 3 HP back.
Yeah, about.
I think it's 2. It's actually 2. Oh no, it's 4.
No,
Goodness.
4.
Goodness gracious.
It's 50% and it rounds up on the recovery. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so here comes our Garchomp for Simon. Simon's is the Scarf one, correct?
Yeah, Simon's running Scarf Garchomp. Also, a lot of HP. Comparing these HP pools, it seems that Simon really has gone for bulk on his Pokemon.
So when you're running the Scarf Garchomp, you don't have to run as much speed. So you get to put that into bulk. So
right now we're looking at how many points? I'm just going to get that up. It looks like 16 points. So about half of the total potential investment
is
that
in
you can
HP.
put into HP is in HP. So that's a good bit of bulk. Now,
Sounds
it
like
does depend on
Carter's
what
Awake. It
into.
is. Yep. Here's the Earthquake from Garchomp. It did not take out either of them. Uh-oh.
No, it did not. So let's see how Garchomp went in targeting down
Rotom.
Rotom.
And Machagacha fishing for a burn, maybe. Gets the burn. I have commentated curse so many burns today. It's great. Nobody's going to want to play in our events because I keep cursing everybody. So, very quickly, we're down to effectively a 2v4 for Esther here.
Yeah.
Esther, low HPs, but mostly in the driver's seat here.
Now, the thing that does, like, the thing that really hurts is that Simon's going to have to...
Yeah, Simon's locked into Earthquake, right?
Yes.
So he's going to effectively wreck his own T-Tar here.
Also, because of that, the Tyranitar, the Garchomp can't hit
Rotom.
So it actually kind of helps with the burn a little because, you know, you aren't doing it a ton of damage. The Tyranitar
went for the Dragon Dance. If this is another Machagacha and it burns the T-Tar, ooh, buddy. Critical hit on the Garchomp. That probably means the burn will take it out eventually. Sinistcha doing work here, carrying this game on its back, man.
Yeah, no. Sinistcha's been my favorite, probably my favorite non-mega to use in this format. It's been a really powerful and strong Pokemon that, especially with this current metagame that we see here, where everyone is using a lot of.
So here's the question: is +1 Tyranitar faster than the Scarf Rotom?
Well, let's see. So the Tyranitar, let's first figure out what the invest is. The Tyranitar has a decent bit of HP invest. Again, about 12 points in HP. So I don't know how much of the...
Well, locked into Thunderbolt. Got it. Locked into T-Bolt. Got it. I feel like this is a situation where Esther is pretty much just trying to figure out how to wrap up this game. Like, I feel like we're very much ahead.
Yeah.
And now, we just gotta finish it up here.
Now, see, with the turn that Esther had right there, I wouldn't have Machagacha. Or maybe I do, because with the ability for them to protect the Tyranitar, I would have tried to make it so that they have to hit the Garchomp one more time. But again, it's
Garchomp was going down to its burn regardless. There, it was at 7 HP.
Okay, was it? I thought.
Yeah, it was at 7. It was going down regardless.
Yeah.
But T-Tar being locked into clicking Rock Slide here does not KO the Sinistcha.
The Sinistcha even at +1. Sinistcha, if it does miss, will go down, leaving
or flinch,
or flinch, and so now.
So now it's it is a 1v1. Is it a T-Tar v T-Tar? Is it a Milotic? Is it a Corviknight? It's a Corviknight. Can +1 Tyranitar take out the Corviknight? Probably not.
I don't think so. That is.
It has to be like a crit knockoff or something, or like multiple flinches, maybe. That's another flinch.
We have a flinch.
That's a second flinch. Yeah, you need a crit. Now you just need a crit.
Knockoff might have it.
Yep, got it. Cleaned it up. Got back-to-back flinches. That's what they needed. Back-to-back flinches to finish game 1.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you always have to learn how to play to your outs. Like, Simon was in a really, really bad spot, and had to click the buttons, had to get the the rock slide to hit, had to get the double flinches. It's you got to just stay in it when you see the pathway.
Yeah.
Okay, Simon now 1 win away.
1 win away. Esther, I don't think we see many changes. Esther had that pretty much locked up and just got unlucky with the flinches.
Yeah.
So I feel like we don't see a whole lot of changes from Esther's side. From Simon's side, it worked out, but there was some things that
it was Simon got immensely.
Oh yeah, he just got bailed out. The best way to say it is they just got bailed out.
Yeah, big time. I think the big thing that Simon needs to do in going into this game too is play a little, like, be a little safer with your Pokemon. He got reckless and he was screwing around and didn't find out. Could happen this time. Like, that turn 1 that Simon had in game 1 was almost as bad as it could be.
Yeah.
But we do see one of the adjustments is Corviknight coming out into Rotom, and
the
Sinistra,
Garchomp being there means that this Volt Switch is super safe for Rotom.
Yes.
If it wants to do that.
We've seen this pretty much every single game Esther's played in her last 4 games, is click Volt Switch, get the hell out.
Get out of dodge, yeah.
Yeah, so I really don't hate that move here. You can't click Earthquake, really, because of the Rotom. And so I'm assuming you're probably going to see something like Rock Slide.
I would say Rock Slide makes the most sense, but we just pivot out. And we know Esther Sinistra is faster than the Corviknight.
Mm-hmm.
And it lives a Brave Bird. Here comes Esther's Corviknight. Read it very well. Went for the Dragon Claw lock-in. Machagacha comes out here, looking to maybe potentially burn. Looks like no burns at all. Tailwind goes up.
Goes for Tailwind.
So now we have a speed difference between Simon and Esther. Esther could match Tailwinds here.
She does not have Tailwind.
She doesn't have it on her Rotom. On her.
No, her speed control is the Electro Web on Rotom and the Icy Wind on her Mighty.
Here's the other game plan now, then, is you just click the bulk up button. You just bulk up over and over and over. Yeah.
Which we do see the first one right there. Yeah, the only Pokemon that can really affect the bulked up Corviknight is
the Rotom.
Simon's Rotom, which we have not seen yet.
I imagine it has to be in the back still, though.
Yeah. I'm assuming Simon's back to are probably the Rotom and the Tyranitar, while we see the Garchomp come out, which means that Esther did not bring her Tyranitar. Dragon Claw into the Garchomp does a good bit of damage. We're
just protecting Sinistra for another turn.
Yep.
Pretty much is the goal. Garchomp doesn't have a purpose here anymore. Like, the opposing Garchomp's very weak. Corviknight's very weak. Yeah. Body Press takes out the opposing Corviknight. We just want to keep Sinistra healthy, I think, at this point. I think that's the goal.
Yeah.
Because that's how we keep it protected from the Rotom, is Sinistra.
Which we see Sinistra back out.
There's the T-Tar. Alright, so Corviknight's back to full HP. This is scary if you are Simon.
Now, one of the things that you're looking at here is Simon does have the ability to knock off and double up into the Sinistra. You could just protect.
I don't know if I want to trade my T-Tar for a +1 body press off the Corviknight, though.
Let's see what happens. So you are Mega Evolving, and the Sinistra does protect here.
Yeah, the double.
Dragon
You
Claw
have to
into the
take out
tank.
this Sinistra, otherwise your Rotom in the back will not be able to take out the Corviknight.
Knock off into the Corv.
Yep. Body press into the T-Tar. Let's hit the 19.
And it doesn't pick up.
Nah, that's all you needed to do. You just needed to do a little bit because Tailwind's over now. Sinistra isn't super threatened. Like the big damage is this T-Tar. You could probably there's a world where you just protect Sinistra again. You swap Sinistra out, put Rotom in, and just take out this T-Tar.
That's probably what I would do.
Because Garchomp's locked into Dragon Claw. If Simon is worried about... Yeah, if Simon's worried about being able to beat this Corviknight, you gotta switch now. Because you can't sit on Dragon Claw. And we swap...
As Sinistra switches into
Rotom. Knock off into the Rotom. Removes the Scarf, notably. What would have been super clever, in my opinion, was to read the Garchomp needing to switch and you body press the Rotom.
That absolutely could have been a play to just really capitalize on everything.
Notable, Esther's Rotom is still faster than Simon's.
Yes. Now we also see what the Garchomp is going to lock into. It won't be a ground type attack.
It'll probably be Rock Slide.
It has to be Rock Slide. What are the plays here?
And so I think if you're Esther, I think you just hope for Rock Slide misses.
Yeah. Rock Slide comes out.
No miss there. Volt Switch. Not enough. If this is a roost out of Esther, this is going to be... Nope.
No, it's a Brave
Swapping.
Bird.
Just trading. Oh, goodness. Okay, so are we just expecting Sinistra to be able to live a Rock Slide here?
I think so. I don't think the Sinistra took a lot of damage. I think it's pretty healthy.
I know it has the berry still. Yeah,
so it's still relatively
So
healthy.
this is a Matcha Gotcha, like, just hit the Garchomp and the Rotom thing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think the really tough thing here is...
Corviknight did its job. It put Sinistra in a spot where it can win.
Yeah, I think the tough thing here is, yet again, you're dealing with Rock
Slide flinches, yep.
And also dealing with Matcha Gotcha, which only is 90% accurate.
Yeah.
So, hitting the wrong Pokemon and allowing Garchomp... Like you need to get the Garchomp this turn. So we see the first Rock Slide come out, and we're going to see probably a Thunderbolt. No, a Hydro Pump.
Hydro Pump's technically more damage. Matcha Gotcha. Here's the Citrus Berry. Matcha Gotcha needs to connect here on the Garchomp.
And there's a flinch.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, man. Just hate to see that. So now you need either a Hydro Miss or a Rock Slide Miss. I don't think Thunderbolt plus Rock Slide gets there. I don't think it's enough damage.
I don't think so either.
I think you need it to be Hydro and Rock Slide. Rock Slide connects.
And brings it down to 50 HP.
Volt Switch is enough to get it done.
Volt Switch is enough.
GG's.
And
oh, it's because of the crit. That's the crit. That crit might have actually
mattered.
mattered.
There was a crit there.
That might have actually mattered.
Yeah, actually, because... Yeah, wow.
Unfortunate. That's how the cookie crumbles for Pokemon, though.
Yes, it does. Simon, congratulations. You are our first Rumble winner in a very long time.
Yep. It's just how the cookie crumbles.
We want to go through our final standings before. We have Simon on a 5-0 run. I just want to look at what their game was. Like, let me see if it lets me look at how their round 1 even went. So Simon lost game 1 of round 1, and then did not lose a single game for the rest of the tournament. That is always something that's very impressive. Just winning the 6 straight games in the rest of Swiss into going 2-0, 2-0 in your top cut. That's 10 straight. It's insanely impressive. And the team that he went and ran is a very powerful Sands team. This is one of the teams that has a lot of tools into a lot of the big threats into the format. Like a Tyranitar being a Pokemon that is unbelievable into the Mega Charizard Y, Corviknight being able to wall out a lot of the different versions of the Mega Floette teams that are really popular. You have Rotom Wash, which is starting to become a really popular Pokemon as another way to beat these, not only just beat the Sun teams, but as a way to go up against these like T-Tar, Corviknight teams, having that Rotom there as your threat of electric damage. Sinistra and Sneasler are 2 of the best Pokemon in the format, along with Garchomp. Really taking advantage of that Scarf by having the Flying type and the Levitator next to it. It's a very, very powerful team, and we've seen how threatening it can be when piloted well.
Yeah. Let's see here. We can go back to standings here so everybody can see this now that it's finalized. Thank you to everyone who participated today. We really appreciate it. Thank you to my co-commentary row here. Carter was supposed to be here, and he decided to sleep.
This was all Carter's idea, and then it was, oh wait, I'm working on Friday night.
And then I have WrestleMania on Saturday, and I got people coming over, and sure, bud.
So
sure.
We had to do the work.
That's fine.
Yeah, it was fine. This was really fun. It went very smoothly. Thank you to everyone in our community who was watching and playing. It's the past couple weeks has been really nice with Champions, getting us back into not just the content game, but doing more community-focused things. Feel like towards the tail end of Scarlet and Violet especially, it just turned into waiting for this game to come out because it felt like everyone was just stale, and it's really just breathed life into a lot of things. So again, thank you to the people who played. We do this for you all.
Yeah, exactly.
And, yeah. So we all good?
Yeah, that's
Sign
it.
off?
We can get out of here. You want to get us out of here? Just tell everybody bye. And...
Yeah. Okay. Bye, everyone.